likely we're not going to end up seeing you on this race.
I think Frozen buffing for him. Ooh!
Oh!
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I mean, they did do it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
It's like, wow. It's an interesting track. It's a mixture of things. Oh, my!
He's going to back the treads. Oh, the bomb!
Oh my God.
Frozen! That's a top three!
Alright. Welcome back to the Mario Kart World Cup. The Civil War is finally here. US South versus US North. And I'm joined by Torp. What's up?
Let's get it. Shoutouts to all the early birds who made it before the match even started. You guys are in for a wild ride. I'm happy to be here with Zesti to take you guys through it. We have a rivalry unlike any other in this World Cup. Two teams from the same country. You know, for those of you who don't know, we have to split up the US every year. This happens just because there's so much depth. We want to give more teams a chance, or more people a chance, I should say, to play, and it kind of balances it out for everybody else. So here we are.
Yeah, and it's like one of the first years I feel like we've had both these teams do really well, and the skill gap between the teams isn't as huge as it was in previous seasons, and this is why we're here. The Civil War in the semifinals. I don't think many players would have expected this, and to see it in the semifinals for a chance to play England in the finals, this is going to be hopefully one of the best matches ever casted, because the stakes are so high. And I think we can start off with these lineups, right?
Yeah, why not? So something to note here for US South, they had a scheduling conflict between two of their typical starting players, which was Macy and Casper. Both of them have tight schedules this week, and they had to compromise one way or the other, and the final call that they made was that Macy would be playing over Casper for this match. So they're going to have Shadow in, which you don't typically see from them, but other than that, they've got their main squad out there, sandbagging, Revise, Backcake as usual. And yeah, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, I don't know what people think about Shadow versus Casper, but Casper has been really good this tournament. He MVP'd both matches in the Australia best of 3, and against Japan, he scored 173 in 5 GPs, so a big loss I feel like. Shadow, obviously another D1 player in his own right, but when you're at this point in the competition, you don't want to switch your lineup, and I think Shadow's only played once, and that was against France, perhaps, and in that lineup was like, they used Yaks in that lineup. I think Thunder also played, so it was pretty much their backup lineup. So this is a big opportunity for Shadow to prove himself, and he kind of needs to prove himself, because if he doesn't and he has a bad score, you're just going to be wondering what would have happened if Casper was here.
Yeah, from talking with a few of the US South players, they definitely feel like they have a lot of chem when they play with Shadow. Like, they feel like the team functions really smoothly, but you do have to wonder if the slight drop in individual skill is going to be a problem. You know, going up against USA North, which does have a lot of individual skill to work with. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But speaking of US North, let's check out their opponents. I mean, these guys are some killers out there.
I think the big surprise here is at the bottom, no Mac. So it's gonna be
yeah.
Evan on the big stage. Evan versus Sam. I feel like I was going to ask, like, who has the advantage versus when it's Sam versus Mac, but when it's Sam versus Evan, I feel like a lot of people are gonna cater towards Sam. I think he's had a really strong showing so far, and mechanically one of the best baggers. He's already a D1 runner, which is something that a lot of baggers don't have. And I don't know, I was expecting a Sam vs Mac battle, but I guess both teams are a little, maybe scheduling was a problem for both teams, or this is a strategic decision. I doubt that, but yeah, very interesting to see.
If there's anything we've learned from the India-England match, is that maybe using your backup bagger is the key to victory. But
yeah, honestly.
Talking about the runners, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of speedy players. Again, people who have played here together for forever. People who have been in this stage of the World Cup before. They know the lay of the land.
Yeah, and like one thing to notice, a lot of these players have had like thousands of wars versus each other, or with each other actually. Like Sean, Edison, Revan have played together, and they've also played against Revise. So if you see those Revise versus Revan 1v1s, maybe there's more than just mind games to it. It's just knowing the other players' habits, and that could have a big effect on this match. Same with Macy versus Brody, playing together in SL, playing together in Lightspeed. It's gonna be really interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, nobody is going in blind. There's no inexperience to be found anywhere here. It's just going to be about who plays better. It's going to be a good old American showdown.
Yeah. And one thing that is, maybe it's not going to be that big of a factor here, but US South being the higher seed here, they are going to host 2 out of the 3 matches. We do get to a match 3. But because it's 12 for HGP on, they'll only get to have 1, 3, 5, 7 for one race. And Macy asked US North if they could switch to 4 race GP, because you can do that upon mutual agreement, and to no one's surprise, US North said no, because it is a pretty big advantage for US South to have the hosting spots for 3 races instead of 1.
Yeah, I prefer 12 race GP. I mean, it's not. Some people debate which one's better, but typically people agree that it's better for the team who starts hosting to have as many races with those spots as possible. But you really never know until it actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it backfire if US North or if US South. I can't remember how this would work, but if race 4 goes a specific way, you'd be like, damn, I wish we could reset spots, but that won't be happening here. And one final thing to note, because both teams use like USS and USN, the teams have decided to just play with S versus N, so it should help for everyone, like for the runners, for the baggers, for the casters.
That's a good call.
Yeah, so it should just be S Macy, S Batcake, and Sean, and Revan, and we do see that in the room.
Yeah, it'd be really easy to get them confused if they were using USN and USS. Too many similar letters. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think
it's
we
gonna look
can.
a little weird, but it will be a lot easier to keep track.
Yeah, I think we should talk about our predictions. US South, the higher seed, but coming into this tournament, I think they were the 6th seed. Nobody predicted them to do as well as they have. And US North, again, I think a team that maybe you wouldn't have been surprised if they got knocked out by a team like Benelux, who didn't even make the top 8. And here they both are. On paper, I still feel like US North is the stronger team, but in this tournament, US South have not lost a match.
Yeah, US South have been better thus far. I mean, I'm a little concerned for them, given that they have compromised their lineup a little bit. And US North, I mean, everyone talks about how it's a lot of SE players. They don't have Mac this time around, but SE just took a big dub in GSC over, it was Lazarus, right? I'm pretty sure I saw that right.
First defeat for Lazarus.
Yeah, these guys are playing hot. So it's definitely anyone's game, but if I had to give a slight edge, I would say also USA North. But, we're playing a game with tons of RNG, and everyone's good enough to win anyway, so I'm just going to let the game play itself.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to talk about Batkick as the host and just as a player himself. We aren't going to be seeing his POV today. I think it's going to be Macy and Revan, but Batkick dropped pretty much 200 points against Japan. I think Batkick versus Revan is going to be a big battle. We've seen a lot of these 1v1 battles kind of decide wars, and if whoever is in front more between Batkick and Revan, just giving their team a huge benefit.
Yeah, I think these teams have pretty run-heavy play styles most of the time. A lot of, like I said, a lot of fast players, people who score by being in the front more so than kind of bagging for Bill and waiting for their teammate to get shocked. They're very, active players, I think, for the most part. So we should get a lot of exciting moments, a lot of vision of what's going on the front, which is what people usually like to watch anyway. So yeah, I think
yeah, for sure. One thing I have noticed just watching some of the matches and just looking at the scores, that US South, when you look at their players, you don't see someone who is going to take the back seat a lot and do a lot of the dirty work, but Macy has not put up a lot of big scores in this tournament, and I think she's taken that responsibility upon herself, and they're 5-0 in the tournament because of it. We've seen some big plays from her. I think whoever's in the Mario Kart World Cup server saw her winning play against Australia to take them out of the competition. A pretty huge play, dodging shock, back bombing, and back bringing Barry on the line to secure that dub. So that's one thing I was a little bit concerned about with this team coming into the tournament, is that they don't have an Edison-like player, but they can all do the job, and Macy's been doing it very well and leading her team to victory.
Yeah. I mean, US South has had to make a lot of clutch comebacks late game. I mean, they had a scary, close loss, or close win, I should say, against France, and then they had to make the comeback against Australia, like you were just saying. US North, when they win, they seem to be more dominant. But anyway, enough talk. It's time to actually get to gaming. Starting off on DDR, the classic pick for first.
Yeah, and they only get one chance at top 2 or 135 DDR, and they do get it. So right off the bat, Civil War is underway, and a good start from Backkick.
Revan here in an early 1v1 situation against Backkick. Shadow comes to join the mix. He might get redded out of his golden. We'll see if he can break it on the wall. That's going to be really big, and he does get hit. Top 2 on this track is really powerful.
Yeah, and Backkick already developing good lead with good backstam here, and it might be enough to secure first after Ultra, and that's a pretty big thing in this war and in this race here. Depending on who has these shrooms, whatever the first shroom spot is going to be pretty important. But
That
Backkick,
hit somehow.
wow.
I guess it looks like he backed a fib somewhere, and maybe he didn't have more protection after that, but I was gonna say that pretty much the only way to lose first if you play your cards right is, somebody taking Ultra and passing you, but if you're gonna get redded out, then I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, huge turning point early in this race, because now we see 134 here, and Revive is taken out too. This is top 3 early for US North. The blue does come in, but look how far Edison is. He just able to stop on the ramp and still continue in top 3 here.
Yeah, US North with all the control right now. It's gonna take either a shock from South or a couple people taking Ultra in decent spots if they want to bring this race back to even.
Yeah, I think we can switch to Macy, or maybe see what Macy's doing in the back. She did stop for a box in 8th, and doesn't look like she has a dodge yet, so she just pulled the star now, but if they don't have shock, and I have not been paying close enough attention to it, if they have it, it has to come here. Target POW on Revan.
Yeah, he loses a lot of time. His spot is
Wow.
definitely not going to hold up. We'll see who passes him. TC from Abize, that could be really huge. He's just going forward with it though. I wonder if they're going to cancel this maybe?
Macy and a star, meaning they can't really do anything. It will be a top 2 though, but they do use a late shock. And is Brody, wow. Top 2, 4, 5 to start, it looks like.
Yeah, strong start from US North. Really, the turning point that we could see was just Backkick getting redded out of first in a spot where I really don't ever see people getting redded from that far away. Pretty unfortunate there. No way to really predict that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when he got ready. It looked like he already had a big lead locked up, and he's just gonna run the rest of the race, and instead it gets hit. And Revan also got another hit onto Shadow in that same mix, and because of it, huge break for Edison and Sean, and that blue did nothing. And that shock was a great call, kind of canceling the TC and dodging Brody on the line. So great start.
Yeah. Good awareness by Revan too, I gotta say, with the TC to just hold A, knowing that it would get him, going into the second ramp. A lot of people might have hesitated and stopped before the box is there, which would have probably been a lot worse in the long run.
Yeah, it was a smart call, and Brody also calling out that Macy was in a star. You cannot cancel there, otherwise it would have been a worse race for them. And
yeah, with the top spots, you just want to secure it and move on. And now
the snowball,
4-5.
snowball could already start after just one race.
Yeah, it's a little baby snowball right now. They haven't really rolled it yet. Those like clamper things where you like pick up the snow and it makes it into a ball. They've got one of those going, but they haven't started the rolling process.
And they need to pick to start it. Let's see.
All right, they're gonna get the chance
Already. TF. Evan.
Scary spot for South.
Evan just gonna chill, not gonna give up a box 9. He's just gonna, he's gonna not give up a box 10. The box 9 is the most they can do, and maybe one of US South or US North will wait, but I think they're all gonna go here, and they get some early drafts.
Yeah, Macy barely doesn't get the draft to catch up. He's gonna lose time going for a box. We'll see if that pays off later. Gonna try to shroom up on the straight, change for something else.
Yeah, they really, really desperately need shroomers,
Heavy
and
box is gone though.
yeah, Shadow's in the back too. Looks like no Bill's in play, which is a dub for Team North.
Yeah, one last chance to get it, and they don't pull it as Edison drops to 8th after getting TC'd, so they're probably not gonna get Bill at all this race to catch up.
How
Pal
7th?
could work out here. Macy's gonna have to hold it for a while, but she'll probably end up target powering their top spots around the conveyor section or
I
something
think
like
it
that.
might have been Revised just taking a swim out of nowhere. I don't know how he fell off. It didn't look like he went for Shumas, but someone fell off, and I think it was Revised. So Shadow is the top spot, and he's only
Right.
4th. That POW is just a kind of wasted POW.
Yeah, interesting they pat him in the air. It probably indicates that he was holding an item, but he gets hit. I think he was shrooming up, so maybe
Yeah, it
he
looks
had a
like he had
golden?
Trip Shrooms or Golden.
Yeah.
And this
but
Blue's
with
gonna
him
get
getting hit-
dodged.
Yeah, good stuff by Riven there to not trick. I mean, his teammates must have called out that the blue was coming, and I think when you trick, sometimes you can't dodge the blue, so
Yeah,
good awareness there.
just
as well.
really good awareness, and the top spots are just getting owned by Team North here.
Yeah,
And
some
it is
players-
TF.
Oh
so-
man.
Yeah, Shock is not guaranteed at all. Revise will take it. He could
Oh,
have
they're
Bill.
bottom. They're bottom everything.
Will we see a Bill and play just a star? That's just not good enough here.
Yeah. Neither bagger has left with Shock yet, so it doesn't look like South has any chance of bringing this race
Bottom
back.
4.
This is just a cluster. That. Oh god, the
Yeah,
background is of legend.
Yeah. Revan did get blued on their other POV, but it doesn't matter. All he loses
Yeah,
is
again.
3 points to his teammate, but he won't care. This is already looking very, very tough. And it just comes down to the track pick and not being able to pull any early boxes, really.
Yeah, and the missed drafts also could have been a factor there too. Macy not being able to chain the shrooms, just nothing really worked out for them, to be honest. And then the back bump at the end to seal it off. US North with a huge lead. And the snowball is in motion.
Yeah, getting started very early in this match, and not what we like to see. The Civil War already going up north. So far, so good for
Yeah.
them.
Looking like the 1850s all over again. Damn. I don't know how much you know about US history being from Canada, but this is pretty accurate so far.
I mean, I don't know what to say, but it's a bad start for the South once again. History repeating itself.
Yeah. I believe back in the day they used to call that the IS bomb, when like the other team's bottom 4 and you just
Right,
back a
yeah.
bomb and they all get hit. Yeah, that's a deep cut for the old heads in chat.
And like, US South got 2 blues in that race. They had POW. They had like decent items to try and get back into the race, but it's too late. They just couldn't get anyone up there. Like, a lot of the time you can see 6th place drafting up and just completely dismantling a top 4, and that didn't happen, and because of that, you see TF work how it's supposed to.
Yeah, and BCW, they're gonna keep it going.
And the tilt could already start just from the track picks themselves, because you already lost one run heavy track, and to get another one, this is not looking good. We'll see what the backspam strategy is. It feels like every team has a different part to play of how you backspam here. Let's see. It will be the insta back, and it does work.
Yeah, I was watching Revan warm up on this track, looking clean before the match started. And they're holding it down right now. No signs of life from
Fib is
From North
really
yet.
good too.
avoids the nanas. That's good. I don't know if he's gonna opt to block glitch here. You might just have to cut his losses and drive forward. We'll see. He still does.
Yeah, because oh, it's Shadow. I thought it was gonna be Sean, but Shadow does get into first here.
Yeah, and this is why I was saying maybe blocking glitch wasn't the best call, but he hits the
Oh,
green anyway on the
wow.
rebound.
Everything going right for North here. Great play by Revan. Like, he knew there was a shot, and that shot does pay off. And look at this, top 2. Free backspam for the rest of this race.
Yeah, they've gotten out of that tense situation where there's, you know, a lot of counterplay happening, and now they can just kind of lay their double back spams and continue to build their lead like they've been doing all war.
And yeah, the TCs are gonna start to roll here, especially if Blue's already being held by Edison, which it could have been. There is an early shot.
Yeah, Revan getting TS'd, and Sean also.
Sean, okay.
So that
Big
top two
turnaround.
is just gone immediately, and then the build dodge is going to be huge for North as long as it didn't drop him in the mud.
Sam proving his worth already in this match. That's a huge turnaround. And Macy has a star for a second one. And because they used it so early, maybe it might have been out of desperation, or it might have been because they can easily get a second one. Sam is respawning. I think Evan is winning though.
Yeah, Sam's in ninth by a long shot, so that could be a little bit troublesome. Although they are so far ahead, and on this track, you know, there's only so much that you can do by dodging shock. You can't gain that much time anywhere.
Another TC for Macy, so luck not really going her way, but they did get Bill in 8th, so that's probably the biggest item you could have pulled in the situation. Another TC, wow. Streamer's in the mud here.
Yeah, Revan, though, has his bagger at his side to pass it. That might mean that it takes a little longer for them to get shocked, though. We'll see. US North desperately needs the second one. We'll see if Revan goes for glitch. I feel like he usually doesn't go for it as much as some other players, but he kind of needs to right now.
Another
So,
thing
yeah.
that's interesting is Backkick is back here. I'm pretty sure he was the one who dodged in the bill. And I saw his name tag, which means he isn't that far ahead.
Yeah, no dice for Revan on the glitch. Yeah, Backcake's there in 5th. Revise is taken out too. Do they even get first out of that? If Shadow got hit
I don't
out,
think
then
so. I think this is a good race for US North again.
I didn't see if it was Shadow or Cake dodging and Bill, but North seemed to get a lot better of a race than they were shaping up for.
Yeah, Shadow got sniped lap 1, so it was definitely Badcake or Revise who dodged in the bill. I think it was Badcake, and I saw his name tag in the back. We also saw Revise, so the two candidates for who dodged in the bill were both back there, and that's very scary for... Oh, I mean, Shadow does win in the end, but
Yeah, thank goodness for that. That would have been a terrible
yeah.
race for South. They needed just to get on the board, you know, put up some kind of resistance here to show that they're still in it, but they got a lot of catching up to do. After
Yeah,
that,
and you
basically
get
even
shock.
race.
You get shock, you get Bill, you're expecting to pull yourself back into this match, and they don't really do that. If you're US North, you're absolutely happy with how that's played out.
Yeah, yeah. Even races are going to be essential for US North to hold the lead, especially when the other team gets shock. All they have to do is just, you know, damage control, keep everything as tight as they can. And the onus is on South to make it happen, even though we're so early on. It's just been brutal.
I think a track pick would go a long way here, and they are opting for DK Summon. And this is, I mean, it must be a Shadow sort of indiv pick. He knows he can keep first on it, and it goes the same way for US North. They think they can outline him on Waluigi Stadium, so another big track pick. A lot of tech-heavy tracks here.
Yeah, these are some high-octane tracks. These are teams that are confident in their ability to outplay each other. You know, they're not leaving anything up to chance. And it's going to be South getting their pick.
Yeah,
Their second
at
pick
the
up.
end of the GP, it is 2-2 track picks, but we'll see how US South can capitalize on this.
Yeah, US North is having their way so far. We'll see how this shakes up. Macy gets the box
8.
taken. Yeah, he did have to stop for it though, so unless he pulls Bill, it's not going to be that useful. He's probably only going to be able to get back up in the mid-pack. But we'll see. It's nice to kind of be away from the mob here on this track. Especially
Yeah.
around double.
I think Macy upping to hold this golden looks like. TC for Batcake. They have a lot of chance to pass it, but doesn't look like it. But Macy makes double and
She was the only person that took Ultra in the room. Like I was saying, you know, there's always a cluster of people around the, you know, the front of the spots, but if you're in the back there, sometimes you just get a free pass, and that's exactly what Macy was able to do. So she's kind of gone in first for the time
yeah,
being.
this is the first time we've seen Macy in the front. First time we've seen a US South member really control the race prior to a shock, and let's see what she can do. Double back spam is gonna be huge here if she opts to go for it. I think she has to.
Yeah, we see that she has a green.
No, she
I think
doesn't.
there
She
it
doesn't.
is. Early? No, not
Okay.
anymore. Yeah, the POW is good though. That's a smart, you know, simple play from US South. Just let her take single in first, POW everybody before the cut afterwards. Makes it pretty easy to time if you get them beforehand. And
Yeah.
they're pretty much secured first at this point.
Shock is still a factor here, and one bagger is gonna get a box 10 before Cannon. Will we see a shock here? If they even pulled it.
Fortunately, Revan took himself out by greening himself off the wall.
And
Maybe
then
with
gets a
his goals, he
golden
could bring it
6.
back.
Wow.
I think this is US South in bottom 2. I think that's Shadow and Batcake,
Yeah,
so...
Revise is back here too, so Macy opting for single again in first. I think she will be safe.
There's a shock. I don't know if I saw anyone dodge. Revan's going for a small double. And he hits it.
Easy. Wow.
Could
I think that
secure a
has
winning
to be a
race.
South shock. Just stopping them from doing double.
Yeah, but nobody really dodged. Wait, Macy failed on the last zipper. What happened? I looked away. What did she do?
I don't know.
That was
I
so
don't know.
bad.
I was just chilling, watching Revan.
Yeah,
And
I was like, oh, she's getting first. She's fine. I don't know if maybe she grew from the shock. What happened there?
oh no.
Oh no. Oh
Instant
no.
replays needed. Anyone in the chat, get a clip.
Somebody please fill us in. Oh, that could have been disastrous. I think they lost a lot of points off that. I think US North just ended up rolling because of it.
Yeah, I don't even know where she ended up placing. Oh no. How
Oh,
is that happen?
brother. You hate to see that.
I'm like speechless.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Like, they did everything to make her win that race, using that POW, using shock when they didn't have any dodges to stop them from taking double after she decided not to take double in first. Like, you have to win that race. And I don't know if it was her fault or not. Maybe, like, the grow time and going on to zipper. I don't know, something happened. Maybe she just
Yeah, and
detached.
that's
I
the
don't know.
worst time for something like that to happen, because first of all, there was no repairing the damage. You know, after that happened, you know, it was just top 4, and also they've just been getting beat up for the first few races, and they needed something to go right. And I'm also just surprised that nobody dodged there. I wonder if maybe one of the USA players was holding blue all the way in the back and they couldn't,
Yeah, that
you
had to
know,
be the
cycle.
case.
But,
That
yeah.
shock, it was just such a mid shock because they didn't even TS anyone on double, they just shocked before they can even have the chance to go for double. And Revan made small double in the end.
Yeah, so 84 points is already the difference after just the first 4 races. US South in a dire spot right now.
Yeah, and
This could end up
this
being a
is
blowout.
new. This is new for US South. They have been down in prior matches. I remember they were down going into last race against France, and they ended up winning that. But they've never been down this bad, and they've never lost a match. So if that happens, how will they recover? What will the mentality be? Because they haven't really lost a big match as a team.
Yeah, all the matches they've come back in were ones where they were kind of like even but sort of slipping behind, and then they 2 races and they were back in it. But they need more than that
Yeah,
from what we're
and
seeing.
Sam hasn't been dominating the shot count. I think it was a little bit far-fetched to assume that he was going to do that against Evan, another great D1 bagger. And it's really come down to the runners just getting outrun and just not putting themselves in great positions, really. At least not at the same time.
Yeah, tough spot for Macy here, holding blue, but she actually is going to get to throw it as Becky
Yeah,
got
back kick.
overtaken.
Yeah, back kick got hit. I think a
Oh,
power
he's
red might have
gone.
come in. And Sean dodges.
Dang, how does US North keep getting into such great spots?
Yeah, and this is one thing I was thinking about when I was playing them. Like, they always are in better positions than we were, and we have to use shocks to keep ourselves in these races. And when you're not getting them, like, look, that's a pretty dire shock call, but a great chain from Macy.
Yeah, Shadow's up here with reds to boot. That's 2 amazing items to pull. You got one person to, you know, kind of pull up and take out everybody who's small, and Macy's going to break away with Shrooms in first. So we're looking at probably just a top 2 for US South.
Yeah,
There's
Macy
not going
just
to be that
getting
much time.
escorted there by Shadow, just
Yeah.
taking out the crowd, and hopefully we don't see another horrible mishap or something terrible happening.
Evan steals the drop star. Probably not going to matter that much, although I imagine US South would have probably left that for Shadow in second, because Macy doesn't really need it.
Ooh, she hits a Nana, but not gonna use their Shrimp with smart because cannot get blued here.
Yeah, and her teammate's still behind her, it looks like, so
Another
no
shock from
pressure.
Sam because Macy uses that Truman first, knowing shock's coming.
Yeah, Revan looking to grow with this mini turbo timing and maybe gain a spot. He's
Oh,
gaming. Wow, that
wow,
was crafty. That
that
was
was
so clean.
very nice. And
He did like
again,
the slip drift.
two shock
Yeah.
Peach Garden, and they get 1-4 out of it.
Yeah, they inadvertently cost Shadow a couple spots because of that. It looked like he was probably still second, and because of when he grew, he was kind of on the stairs, which is like the worst spot for that to happen. He actually lost spots, and nobody really seemed to catch up too much in the back, which has kind of been a theme for these U.S. South shocks.
Yeah, and I think we have to go back to that first shock. I said at the time that it was a pretty dire shock call. Macy got really lucky to get triple shrooms in 5. Shadow got triple res, and we end up seeing that it wasn't enough to really make a dent into this lead.
Yeah, I will say the drop star steal ended up being huge, probably because Shadow would have just gotten that and secured top 2 anyway. So props
Yeah,
to
good play
props
from
to
Evan.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Evan is after he took the ground star, I don't know how many people noticed, he went and hit both the chain chomps, and like if Macy didn't have a box and needed a box, that would have been a box steal. And Evan's known for like trying those nifty little pens, which are pens, but like he tries to refute them. I think there have been some pretty controversial calls regarding Evan. I think one against India in a scrim where he bumped Jaker out of the way so then he couldn't dodge blue, and then Emil got blued for it, and like it was a huge discussion about that. So something to note, probably won't be a factor in this match, but could be in the second match.
Yeah, they don't really need to pull any funny business to take this one home with the way it's going right now.
Yeah, everyone is pulling their weight and some. Like this is a very, very strong performance here.
South, on the other hand, might need to bust out the fishing poles if they want to chip away at the lead.
Yeah, Moonview Highway, everyone right path, sort of, sort of moment.
Yeah, gold mine, you just wheelie in a straight
Yeah.
line on the slope.
But a
Hope
nice
the best.
draft. A good start here. Oh, wow, that's a heartbreaker. Yeah,
already
first
getting
to
into the
last,
pack.
pretty much.
North with 2, 3, 4. It looks like triple greens on Revan's back right now. Shadow with a lot of pressure on him
So
right
much
now to
pressure
keep
on
his-
him, yeah.
Yeah, if one of them takes cut, then he's gonna be in a world of hurt getting sandwiched. But a
Oh,
great
okay.
back.
Wow, I think he really bumped him and then backspammed him. But Edison does take cut. He's the one you needed to hit, and he's the one you didn't hit, and because of that, top 2.
Yeah, huge by Edison there. Really, really high impact to get Shadow out of there. And US North again, top 2 with some space to work with.
This just looks like a team that can win it all. Like every lap, we see them in a great position to win the race. And on a track like this, where you kind of need chalk at this point, or a lot of blues to catch up. Let's see who's winning this back battle. It's Evan. It's just Evan.
Yeah, they're being really efficient with everything too. They're not, going crazy, doing too much. There's a lot of, low commitment things that they're going for, and it's just been working.
Yeah, they're not like really going after US South, but they're frustrating them nonetheless. And like stuff like this, the backspam is so strong that Edison's still gonna keep second, despite a POW and a blue combo.
Yeah, he is in striking distance definitely for Backcake in third, but he does have a box to defend himself for now. So North continue to dominate. Revan is still kind of gone.
Yeah, they're gonna need another blue, and Macy knows that. Gonna trade.
Oh,
Oh, my god!
oh,
And he had
and-
golden.
Yeah, you see the golden flash. Macy's not having a day.
Oh my god! I mean, this might get to forfeit sort of range very, very soon before the mental just goes out the window. Like plays like that, plays like DK Summon, especially as someone regarded as a leader of US South. If your leader goes down, then I don't know. Especially making really bad plays like that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, US North still running it up. I mean, why wouldn't they be at this point?
Yeah, and I mean Evan probably has shock. I think he was in a ground star somewhere in that lap. I don't know how, so maybe I'm not sure what's going on with shock. But if South had it, it probably would have been used by now. As we see Macy get out of a star.
Yeah,
It looks
North
like-
not leaving anything up to chance. Taking every precaution necessary, going wide to avoid the target POW potential.
It looks like bottom 2 for North, but it's probably top 2 bottom 2 or 1-3 bottom 2, and at this point that's a double of a race.
Yeah, you can see the frustration also from Macy spamming the mirror. That's a telltale sign that somebody is either like nervous and trying to calm their nerves, which I do sometimes, or they're upset about something that just happened. And pretty easy to guess which one it is this time around.
Yeah, and I think another thing to note, I don't think Macy streamed any of the matches before, or like I think Backkick was the one on POV for the last big match they played, so maybe if that could help her, but Macy streamed so many big matches in her career. She streamed like pretty much every GSC match with Call, so that's probably not a big factor for her, but
Yeah,
if
I
they
mean it's a
need
bigger
something to
stage,
change,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think she has enough notches under her belt to fend off the nerves. I was gonna say Batcake, despite being the host of the match, we haven't really seen him in the front at all since
Yeah.
DDR, where he got redded out.
Yeah,
Just
I
hasn't really
kind
gotten
of
a
alluded
chance.
to that before the match. If Revan wins out that kind of battle, getting to the front, and Sean as well, like every single player can do that, but mostly I'd say Revan for his team. And Revan's just been there every single race, and if it's not him, it's one of his teammates. And Backcake, if he's not in the front, he's not going to be as effective, especially if his teammates aren't in the front as well.
Yeah, what gives right now? GV. So we're what, halfway through the war, and they're down 90.
If it
Ooh,
gets
this is
to
a
100, I don't know, you probably call it quits. I feel like, I don't know. Like, I always bring this up when we have blowout matches. Every team kind of reacts to it differently. Do you forfeit here, or do you play yourself back into rhythm? It's a big question, and it's a question that could impact the rest of the series.
yeah. It's weird. Sometimes even if you know you're gonna lose and you literally can't win, it's sometimes just worth just to play it out, and just kind of practice what it would be like if the race mattered.
Yeah, it's like just knowing your teammates as well, how they're gonna react to playing this kind of like garbage minutes.
Yeah. Either way, still not over. Not over till it's over. North wins big in the front six, but if South just does the same, it's still doable.
Yeah, and this track, I feel like if you get shocked, I mean, we've seen them get shocked on very shock heavy tracks like Peach Gardens and haven't been able to capitalize, but Shroom second, this could be a start to something.
Yeah, and I don't know if I saw it right, but I thought Macy might have backfibbed her own teammate after Rock. I thought it was backkick there. Let's see
That's
if
a
she can make
nice
Rock
hop
again.
dodge there from Revan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he
Macy
makes it.
called
He's
herself.
golden me up. And Macy,
Yeah.
despite taking Rock in like second place twice, is probably not even going to be first, just thanks to the catch-up play from North. But Revan kind of chokes a little bit with the golden, and now he's going to end up in third with another Shroom. But there's
Oh,
Macy coming alive finally, making a big
yeah.
play. They needed to hit him there, and he's ooh.
Baggers are not sitting at that set that we usually see them. I think one's chasing the other, so someone has shock here. And if it's North, then all of this could be for naught.
North Pow probably to secure Shrooms in third, but Brody's gonna get TS'd. Everybody in North in the middle of the pack, so nobody really dodging there. Could be a huge race for South here. If the top two holds,
A blue does come in. Ooh, Revan's a
yeah,
big
he
flub
grew. He
there.
grew at a bad time. He wasn't expecting that. There's
Another
another blue.
blue?
Is he gonna
No
reach? It
way.
is.
The,
Wow.
the tilt has to be a big factor. Backkick's gonna
She
take
might
it out
get bombed
too.
too. Where's the?
Oh
Okay, he
my
doesn't even
god.
drop it.
Backkick and
Wow.
Macy looked like they were gonna win the race because of the shock. And North pulled two blues in the span of like 15 seconds to steal it away from them.
It just keeps getting snatched away every time.
That's probably the biggest tilter of them all because you didn't play bad. This time you didn't play bad at all. You did everything you needed to do. Good pals, good back spam, and
Yeah, and
still,
a solid shock too.
this
Hopefully
is
they dodged up and got first or something. No, what?
no,
What a,
yeah,
I just have no words for that. I mean, it's top four overall, and it's not close. They are gapping right now. They're up
yeah.
over 100.
Like if that race went the other way, we'd say like that's a textbook race from North. If I mean, assuming those two blues don't get pulled, we'd say like, wow, great backspan, great everything, and it just doesn't matter. I just can't believe
I
it.
don't understand how they get top three there. It seemed like they were getting shocked all on the platforms, probably after set, losing time, and South would have been in the back dodging up and taking cut. I
Yeah,
have no
the
clue.
bottom spots it could have been again another situation where those bottom spots were holding blue. One of them had blue probably, and they just pull it because they shocked them into that middle set, those moving sets, and one of them just got fortunate and got blue, and then they got another one.
Yeah, it's one of those wars where just everything seems to be going wrong for South, which does happen. We've all, no matter what level of the game you're at, you've had a war where just it feels like you cannot do anything. You have no momentum. You're failing stuff you don't usually fail. Other teams getting lucky, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see it on this important, stakes.
Yeah, good thing is from a South perspective, it is a best of 3, so you can have one bad war, you can afford it. If you can back it up with a really strong one. And it's the first time, really, their backs are truly against the wall going into this next match.
Yeah, I'm pretty much counting them out already for this one.
Yeah,
Even if it's
same.
still like mathematically possible, just you can kind of tell by the way that they're playing and the way US North has been so far that it's not really in the cards.
Yeah, it really isn't. And like the bag battle hasn't been dominated by one bagger. It feels like Sam had a double shock Peach Gardens. That's the most you can ask from your bagger.
Yeah,
It
and the
didn't work.
GV shock. Meanwhile, someone on North just
Oh.
failed Doc in
Yeah,
first.
I think Edison failed Doc and Mace with a nice snipe. So, like plays like that just to keep the morale up. Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to make stuff up.
Just to remind them that they still earned a spot in the in these semifinals.
Yeah.
And they can still do it, but looking grim
Top
overall.
2 on DSTS is not really something to scream home about, so we'll see what happens here.
Kind of actually combined with the backstone, that POW ended up working out. I was gonna say it was kind of a nothing burger of a POW, but
Yeah, it's just like
smart by Shadow
you
to
can
back
chain
there.
it sort of pow.
Yeah, just to get some more boxes in mid spots.
Ooh, that could be a big box miss. Don't know the shock situation. There is a bagger running very far ahead of the first place, and then another bagger in the back. So I'm not sure who has it. If it's North, they're in really good positions to use a shock here. It looks like top 3 with Backkick having a Sherman first because of that slowdown.
Yeah, a lot of bottom spots.
Wow,
for North.
Macy dropping from first to last. So this is definitely a North shock
South shock,
coming in.
right?
No, I think she's dropping because North has it. I feel like. We'll see here.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Edison with shock and ooh.
Awful POW pull for Revan. He's gonna be out of the race. Maybe he can use it to make some impact in the front. Mace is catching up all the way, but it's just
Edison
North in
and
top
Sean. Wow.
2. Yeah, that is brutal.
Late blue, not gonna do anything. That's something you'll very rarely see. Even in D1, like dropping from first to last is such a bold play. I feel like someone else has to do that. Whoever your bottom spot is has to be contesting dodges. And I don't know who it was. Didn't really do anything to stop that very simple shock.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was like, oh, she wanted them to get worse boxes in the middle so that they wouldn't be able to take double or not as many, and then maybe she'd pull a star for their shock at the end, but I guess North just had it. And they just continue to own.
Revised on 28 points, by the way. So I think just ending this war here could do him a bit of good here to avoid a very embarrassing score at the end of it. But no white flag has been raised in the rep chat.
Yeah, not much to say.
Yeah, it really isn't. It's just north, north, north all the way. Evan with another great shock pull, and the difference in shock quality is really shown as well. Like the one race South have frontal presence is top 3 in Delfino Square when the other team has shock. It's just false hope. And they're not really doing anything to stop these shocks, really. At least it feels like that. Obviously, as a caster, you can't really see what's going on. Maybe whoever was 6th and 7th tried their hardest to hit them and bomb them, and just didn't work out.
Yeah. North has to be feeling really good about this. You know, not to take anything away from them, they definitely deserve to be up big here. They're probably playing super clean across the board. We haven't really seen any signs of weakness. So that gives them a good shot at taking this in 2 matches. Given that they've already done so much mental damage.
And like when I think of the best runners on this team, I think of Revan and Brody. And the guys who are putting up the most points are Edison and Sean. Just really strong performances. And if Sean's on his game and scoring big points, it's really hard to break this team down. And Sean just gone first, and Macy, just a tale of 2 players. One at the top of his game, and another one just trying to get this over with.
Yeah, yeah. They need a reboot of sorts. US South.
Yeah.
They gotta put this one all the way behind them.
Very interesting that they're deciding to keep playing.
Yeah, I have to wonder what the call is like right now. If they're even like communicating like normal, or if they're just like.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like the comms aren't even gonna be as top notch as they should be in a match like this because of the deficit. Another shock here. Don't know. Who's
Seems like North is continuing to give it their all.
Yeah, North. I mean, if you're North, you keep playing because you're playing amazingly. The comms they can't get any better here.
You said that Edison immediately failed cut.
Yeah.
Right before our eyes. I think he was going for Shumas after their shock or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was funny.
A lap 2 shock does mean someone was confident in getting another one, but it looks like the baggies are neck and neck here.
I think I saw Evan use it and then immediately take the backward strat and stay 10th, but it looks like it's really close now. Something might have happened. Maybe he lost a Bill after that, but...
Wow, it's just that sort of war for Macy. It's a green off 4 different walls, it seems like.
And just getting
another
bumped into that wide off-road patch that nobody ever hits.
I don't know, these shocks are very strange from the POVs we have. It doesn't seem like anyone's dodging. Macy gonna unblock for Revan.
Yeah, it doesn't look like US South has any heart left, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe after that one, that's kind of
That was just such a kind gesture.
Yeah. Well, if Revan was a big baller, he wall dodges that and reds him afterwards.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but yeah, no extra swag, no cherry on top. Oh, crazy red. What in the world?
Hey, Macy ends up winning despite unblocking the cut for Revan, but
yeah, hey,
small
kindness,
victory, I guess.
kindness pays. You know,
Yeah.
random acts of kindness, they go a long way.
That was just
Like
so funny.
You know those
Like
TikToks,
so slow.
those
Yeah.
TikToks where it's like, or like the guy like asks if anyone could pay for his groceries, and then if somebody does it, he gives him like $500.
Yeah.
It was like that, but instead it was Macy getting 7th on BC3.
If there's any clip to be made from this wars, it was that. Just Macy unblocking the cut for Evan. Just a free cut. She was driving so slowly towards the unblock too.
Yeah, Revan just like saw it happen the whole way. It was really funny. Yeah, Edison is the top scorer right now for North. Something we don't usually see too much. He's one of the only people I would say who's as good as he is, and also has kind of that schlagging role, like, you know, assigned to him most of the time.
Yeah. It's like
You don't really see anybody else, you know, compete at that high of a level who consistently is, you know, in the back or in the middle doing work.
yeah, he's made a name for himself with that playstyle. I remember back in the day, I'm not sure how many people will remember, but Dugo, like you say the name Dugo, you know exactly what sort of playstyle you're getting. And Edison is pretty much the new generation version, plus much better than Dugo, being a D1 player and a strong D1 player. And this is a big match for him as well. I think he's kind of got blasted on cast before because he hasn't played well, and we have to give him his flowers here. This is an unbelievable performance and one they needed to see from him. I feel like 40 GP1, 45 GP2, and 97 after 9 is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, the question for North is just going to be whether or not they can keep it up for the next war. I mean, it's one thing to play amazing for, you know, a race or a GP or even a whole war, but 2 matches straight is really hard to do. As simple as they're making it look, and as easy as they make it look right now, yeah, this game is really hard. And the mistakes are bound to happen eventually for pretty much any player or any team.
Yeah, and because the score is so big, like maybe I was saying like maybe the comms are still at tip-top shape, but maybe they're kind of just laughing and calling. Maybe like turning it back on could be a problem for next match.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll affect them or not. I don't know, but I don't know. They're so used to playing together for the most part, and
Yeah,
they
and
knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. So
SC have played in pretty much every BO3 we've seen in GSC history. Like they almost always make playoffs, so yeah, this is nothing new to them.
yeah, Macy continues to get tossed around. The red and the hard bump on the bridge.
Yeah, she's just getting bullied. She's kind of bullying herself as well by not making good plays. And I know she's someone
Yeah,
that
it's
will really be hard on herself after a match like this.
kind of been yeah, it's been a little bit of a mix of the two, and those are like the ones where it feels the worst. Where, like you get unlucky here and there, and then you start to like mess up too, and then it's like, well, maybe if I played perfect, this and this and this wouldn't have happened, but like,
Yeah, and from a US South perspective, just looking at their lineup, a lot of these players have not won a lot. And this is like one of the biggest matches they've played like in their careers. Macy, being a part of L1 last season and MW, she probably the closest to that. Backcake, I think he's won Asphalt, but KG have not really been in tip-top stride as of late. And then you have Shadow, pretty much a newcomer to the D1 scene. So this is a big match for them. They've really all faltered in their own way.
yeah, there's an interesting dichotomy that I always enjoy when it comes to competitive, games and sports, where there's a difference between like being really skilled and like having a lot of talent and being able to play your best and win when it matters. And it seems like North has both
Yeah,
by a clear margin right now.
not sure who shocked that is because both of our streamers dodged that. Don't know. Revan dodged in the higher spot, maybe Macy predicted, or it could have been the other way around. And Revan looks like another good race for US North. Because Macy dodged and is still not in that top 3.
Yeah, it's just all North up there
That's top
again.
4.
That's another top four.
Oh my god, this
Jeez,
is...
this is gonna be an ugly looking table, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I just... If I'm a leader here, I'm pulling the plug. Like, I would have pulled the plug maybe 3 races ago. But they're continuing to play and, like, this just can't help the mental at all. And for US North, they're just laughing this off. It's just
Yeah.
hilarious to them. Evan was running there too. He was part of that top 4, making it look like a top 5. Just insult to injury.
I hate to bring it up, but I have to imagine Casper's watching this somewhere with his hands on his
Yeah,
head,
exactly.
getting a
Like,
tear.
a big player, and this would be a sort of a revenge match for him, being a part of this SC crew for a long time, and this could have been a big opportunity for him to prove himself, and he just doesn't get that. It gets stripped away from him, and it doesn't look like we're gonna see him for the rest of this World Cup. Unless this team can bounce back in this next match, and we really hope so for the sake of the Civil War and the sake of content.
Yeah, the name of the game right now for us is content at least. But North doesn't want to give that up. They're here to win. They have their sights set on the gold.
Yeah, the score right now, plus 164 for Team North. In the semifinals, you want to say this is unacceptable. Like, no matter how bad you're playing, for it to be a 164 difference at this point is
Yeah.
very, very strange. Because, again, like I've been saying, I don't think the shot count has been like a 7-0 or anything like that. It's maybe at most 7-5 to Evan. At least that's what it feels like. Maybe more in the recent races, because he did get on Delfino Square and BC3 and on that track
Maybe
as well. It
Maple
looked like.
too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're just unrelenting right now. They're trying to beat them to a pulp. They're trying to make this one hurt. There's Macy
And
going
there's
for a
just
clip.
no resilience here.
Yeah. I mean, what
It
can you
would
do?
be funny to see like a Macy montage and have a clip from this match knowing the result of it. I don't know if she would
Yeah.
have the courage to do it because it just, like everyone knows the context of the clip. It's just a fun room.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, North hasn't taken their foot off the gas, so they're still picking DK Mountain. they're still, you know, going for top fours. I do wonder, yeah, like it all comes down to South's capacity to bounce back and just kind of put this out of their mind for next match. Because sometimes you can be like, okay, this doesn't matter, you know, we'll start fresh, clean slate, and you know, if the luck goes even partially our way, we can do it. But yeah, always
Yeah.
easier said than done.
Another thing is like, no matter what this score ends up after the 12 races, it's gonna be a table that any of these North players can hold against the South players, especially for Revise. He's gonna every comeback is gonna be, remember that match? Like, I feel,
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
gonna
know
be
if
hearing
they're
about this
like
one for a
that.
while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of banter about this one, and it's gonna hurt for the South players way more than it does for the North players. And Macy is still fighting, but I don't even remember if she was a shotgun this race. I've really been staring at a
I'm
blank screen. It
pretty
feels
sure
like.
there hasn't been. Yeah, I'm kind of wandering over here too. South in good spots though. This could be. I mean, I don't want to. Have they won a race this war? Like one?
I would like to hope so. That like double garden shock was a 1-4.
They
I
had
don't
another
even
one
know.
for BC Wii, maybe. It was some track.
Oh yeah, Shadow did win that. I
Hey,
don't know.
that's a dub for US South, right? And they got clean spots.
I just hope so.
I
I
mean,
have
I
no
missed a
idea.
lot, but that was you know, it's a small victory. Hey, sometimes you gotta lose some battles to win the war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Maybe winning the last few races of this war could transfer over. We never know, but something to think about. Another thing to think about is if US North, ooh, big
Ooh,
race from
what
South.
up, South? Yeah,
Chris
let's get
Paul
some
cutting
hype
the
in the
lead.
chat. Hype in the chat for US South. And I guess they're still gonna play it out at this point.
Yeah, I mean at this point you have to. You can't even cut the lead down to double digits. It's at plus 137 here, unless you all run, which you're definitely not gonna do here. Yeah, it's been that sort of war, and like when you're in such a war, you always one interview question that always gets asked when a team gets blown out is like, did you lose or did the other team win? Sort of question, and I just feel like U.S. North were so dominant. I don't know if this match would have ever been close with the way that we're seeing them play.
Yeah, that's why I'm really interested to see how match 2 goes, because it just seems like US North is playing so well that I want to see what it looks like when South kind of, you know, kicks it back into high gear and goes for the win again. Because I haven't seen any signs of weakness from North whatsoever.
Yeah, like Revan's like perspective of this war has been pretty flawless for the most part. I think we've seen one or two flubs, but like we can't critique anything North is doing right now. Everything works. They're in good positions after lap 1, and they're in good positions once the race is over. Every time, no matter if they have shock, no matter how bad their items are, they always get it done. And that's the scary part, especially for England looking over, watching the VOD back, because I don't think any of them are awake now. If this is the team you play in the finals, you must be a little scared.
Ouch.
Now this is the classic Edison. And to queue it
She's
against
gonna
Mace.
escape the last one, it looks like. But,
Yeah. And Edison, that was like, Edison let her live, which is like such
yeah,
a
showing
sad part in
some
itself.
pity
Yeah.
on a poor soul whose team is down by
I
140.
think that's even more sad. Like,
Yeah, some
she
BM.
waited. And I know, like, playing with Macy a lot, these, like I've said it a few times this cast, I don't know how she'll react to a second match. See mirror spams, we're seeing everything to indicate that she's incredibly frustrated, and for good reason. I don't know what, I remember Revised on a very bad score before this. A lot of people gave Edison like nothing but hate after his sub 100 performance, and one of the earlier best of 5 matches or 5 GP matches. I mean, there's none of those haters are talking now, and I might have been one of them. Honestly, I was casting that one. I was giving him it, so I do apologize for that. But he's backed it up with one of the best performances you could possibly have on the big stage.
Yeah, and in a much more important match too, it's worth saying. I mean, losing one match in Swiss doesn't really affect things that much. You can still get a decent seed, and you're still going to be in the same kind of tier of the bracket as everyone else who wins. So the difference between getting hot at this stage in the bracket versus earlier is night and day, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that has been brought up a lot when talking about this US South theme, they have been 3-0, but let's just recap the matches they have played, right? Their first match was against Norway, who did not have Fox or Kion or Barney, so that was pretty much a free win. Then
Yeah,
their
Norway
second
is
match
one of
was
the
against
weakest teams.
France, and France didn't make the top 8, and they struggled with that match.
Yeah, France gave them a good run for their money. That was a lot closer than it probably should have been. And then it was weird because
Third
then they
match
played
was
Japan.
Yeah.
And that was like their first real test, and they showed up big, winning that by 70 against a team that was one of the favorites to win it all. And so it looked like they had it, they had everything they needed. And then the Australia match was kind of a mix of both, I would say, where they took match 1 huge, and then match 2 came down to the wire and they squeaked it out. But
Yeah.
But
compared to US North have played some very strong teams. I think they played, I don't remember if they played England already.
I think they played India, right?
Yeah,
That
I think
was
it's,
the match that they choked
India,
fairly.
the crazy India match, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, North probably have played one of the tougher teams. And I know Japan, I think Japan were pretty underwhelming in this tourney. Just seeing how they crashed out to England. So, when you look at that, maybe it makes sense that despite being an undefeated team, that North was a better one. Look at this table, wow.
Yeah. I will
All
say
medals across the board.
there have been some dud matches, this one's a blowout. The quad 100, Edison going huge. I don't think I've ever seen Edison score that many points in a thing.
Honestly, yeah.
No flame, but yeah, good for him, dude.
Yeah, there's always a meme with Edison, like when he's on a good pace, it's like Edison PB incoming, which is such a rude thing to say, but
No, he's
damn.
goated right now.
Yeah. And there's a reason why he plays every match for SC. Like, they don't bench him or anything. They know his value better than everyone who talks crap about him, and because of moments like this and matches like
Did you lag out or did I lag out? Alright, we good? I think after that, you guys saw what happened. It was rough, but we're going to bounce back after a quick break from match 2. I think we're going to take a few minutes while they, switch hosts and get everybody back in the room. Hopefully, US South can bounce back from that defeat and come back stronger, but we'll just have to wait and see how the cookie crumbles.
yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you'll notice there's a new face here in our call joining us. He's going to be casting alongside Zesti and myself for this next match. Why don't you go ahead and say what's up?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Yeah, I mean, I caught bits and pieces of the first match. I was delivering pizzas. The driver called off. This initially was going to be a try-cast, but I think you and Zesti did a fantastic job of just relaying information, even though, like, I was mainly listening and watching a couple moments in time. I mean, you guys did a very good job, and overall, I mean, it was a solid statement win for USA North. I mean, Edison, I was going to mention if I did, cast the first match, I was going to say that Edison is kind of the engine that keeps this team going, even if he only scores 80, 90 points in some wars, but he really was the standout. And then really everybody in that team just gelled together extremely well, and it was a very good win.
Yeah, they kind of beat the brakes off him. It was brutal. I will say, yeah, it's unfortunate when you see a team get beat by, 80, 120 points or whatever, which does happen. I don't think the semifinals before were particularly close either, but for those of you who haven't seen, this World Cup has produced a lot of insane down-to-the-wire matches. I mean, France had a few insane ones against, like, Germany, Ireland, France, US South, yeah, US North, India was really good. There have been a lot. For those of you who would like to see more content after it's all said and done, you can go back. All the VODs are up on the the Mario Kart Central Wii YouTube. So feel free
We'll be
to check
getting the
out more.
semifinal matches down. I think the most latest upload we have right now is USS versus Australia, which in its own right was a decent match too, even with the 2-0 from USS.
Yeah, it's nice to see those nail biter, ass clencher type things. And shoutouts. I actually don't even know who it is who's just getting all those VODs and uploading them, but shoutouts to whoever's doing that. Oh, let's go.
BYosh, masterful YouTube VOD uploader and stream host extraordinaire. I mean, I gotta say, some of those transitions from POV to POV have been seamless.
Yeah, that's my goat.
But anyway, talking about this match coming up here, the obvious question would be what is going through the minds of USS. But of course, it's gotta be forward thinking. You can't tell. Gotta move on. And actually, I think considering that they played out the rest of that match, yeah, it could just be unnecessary punishment, losing race after race. But it goes to show that they're still willing to get the practice in. And with players like Shadow coming in over someone like Casper, I think maybe you need as much practice as you can.
Yeah, and Zesti and I were talking about how we don't know if they won a race, during the front and the middle of that war, but they did end up winning the last two. So I guess they just kind of were taking the time to, reset. They didn't want to, they didn't want to rush into.
They didn't want to
match.
rush it in, yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on the team, really, and I mean, yeah. When it comes to individual performances, obviously I didn't get a clear view of it as I was working, but from the glimpses that I saw, I did notice that Macy did not have the best performance. I mean, you guys mentioned somewhere in the cast that she has casted streamed plenty of times, so perhaps it was just an off war. I don't think it has anything to do with streaming this, although yes, World Cup semifinal.
That's one way to put it. It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Good news is, if you're Macy, right, and let's say you make that choke on DK Summit and your team loses by like 12, you're like, wow, I kind of cost us the whole match, right, with that one mistake. Like, but since everything else went bad too, it's kind of like you just shake it all off in one big package and then move on. So
yeah, it's all about the mentality, right? Losing by that much can really drive a nail into any team if they let it. But considering that they lost by that much instead of that little, like you mentioned, over a couple of mistakes, just reset it. Didn't happen. Just win 2 wars in a row. And And I mean, US South definitely have the capability of keeping it close. They are a solid team all around.
I'd also say that increasing the time in between the matches is probably also going to benefit the South. You know, if they're,
Nice to keep
they're
it-
playing on tilt, then might as well just give yourself some time to cool off.
Who's hosting, by the way, individually?
Now it's going to be Revise, which is an interesting call. I think that's
Yeah.
Revise. There's not Revan to me. It's so small. Hold on.
Oh, Revise is on South.
No,
Revan is north.
Revan.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Revan's
I
north.
just squint my eyes. It's really small on our
their
POV.
Mii's are so similar.
Yeah. They have a theme going. It's kind of cool. I like it. They all have like the. Yeah, I mean, they got. That's probably how they look like in real life too. I think they're like.
And I wouldn't say that's necessarily bold, because anybody in this side can keep a front run if need be.
Yeah, Revan he's the guy. Right now, he's been the guy. At least I think he's the guy. I picked him in my
agree.
fantasy for a reason.
And
I agree.
even if Edison MVP'd, I think, you know, like I said, Edison is kind of that engine. You put him anywhere, you slot him anywhere, and he will adapt. He has that, you know, in-game IQ to be able to make plays and know what to do in whatever situation. So I think having Edison in, I believe that's 5th, I think, you know, he can make things work.
Yeah, no subs on either team. We're just gonna run it back with the same lineup. Bagging battle seemed to be fine last war. I don't think that's the problem.
I don't think so either. I think it was pretty even, and like for the races that really matter, which are probably the first 6, before it got out of hand, it turned into a little bit of a fun room. I think the bagging battle was pretty even. Shot counts even. When I've mentioned this like 3 or 4 times now. They had 2 shocks on Peach Gardens and only got 1-4. You just can't be doing that at this level, and it's because of how good North were positioning themselves. They forced an early lap 2 shock, and the lap 3 one didn't do anything in the end.
Yeah, they also got they got a baby little snowball. They had their DDR and then their TF and their BCW, which helped. So.
And kind of adding on to that bagging battle point too. I mean, Evan's stepping up, and I noticed that Mac said that he wanted it, and he is definitely, you know, even though it's been more of an even bagging battle, Evan and Mac are kind of like even in skill. Mac has more experience, but Evan is no slouch. I have bagged against him before, and he knows his stuff. So let's see how that plays out here in Sherbetland. Now that we have a tri-cast, we can maybe have one, maybe myself, lying low and look at the bagging battle, see what happens. But here we go.
Yes, sir. We're seeing Revan already in first. Tough to hold it down on this track, as people know. It's definitely no DDR.
No goldeners, it seems like. I think triple shrooms is the best item there for US South, or for any player, so Revan actually...
Ooh.
Macy overextends with the schlag.
Yeah.
That's kind. I know that's not going to be that important for this race because it is Sherbetland, but that's kind of an indicator to me, maybe, of how things are going to go.
And while this is a track that you can catch up, you don't want to be in mid spots in this track. There are a couple blind corners that you can get caught out easy.
That's why. Look at this TC already. We saw a lot of TCs early from Macy last war, and the reason is because she just can't get to the front, and when she does, she just isn't making the right play. That
was a crucial miss of the TC pass too. Just slightly late reaction there. That was passable 100%. Blue comes in though, could shake up the spots, and from what I saw, I believe that's going to be Sam, or no, it's Evan. Yeah, Evan winning on the bagging battle with North in somewhat decent spots, even with that blue, I believe.
Yeah,
Sam's intense. I just saw. I think the battle glitch kind of messed up there, but Sam was intense.
What is going on? Yeah, another situation like we were talking about from last war where North was dominating top spots. They were top 2-4. I didn't even notice when they got up there, but it kind of forced the early shock. Maybe South can pull another one.
We should be seeing Sam here. I think that is Sam intense still. So this should be another shock, hopefully, for South to keep them in this race and start off on the right foot this time.
Blue from Revan is huge here because I think only one South member really profited off their last shock. And I think he's gonna get
Do you maybe
out.
chain here though? If you're Revan, even if you're in 10th, I mean, do you try to break that up?
Wow. They both lose dodges to that. That is very interesting.
Insta 9.
Yeah, what in the world?
No, that was it. Oh no, that wasn't. No, now Insta 10. My bad. Yeah, Brody comes up though. He does end up dodging into Mega. Still back kick
Pass the
though, yeah.
TC. Ooh, there's a big battle here.
Oh, that's yeah.
And look at the mirror spam already. It's race 1 and she's mirror spamming. It's just from that last war.
That oh god. I also that was a concerning performance by Macy in particular.
Yeah, she got to first. Like, there shouldn't be that much lag between the two players. Revan wasn't second at one point, lap 1, and just MT past her and greened her. That's just... I feel like race 1, you always want to have a good start. And, like, even if you don't, just, like, get a good spot, if you play well, you feel good. Macy didn't do anything well, but the team really backed her up, especially Sam.
Yeah, a double shock race I think for South with them getting top 2, but also that means that Macy used her dodge too late, right? Because they both dropped him. That I was gonna try to figure out who that was.
Both teams seem to have dropped dodges there. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
I
talking about
think-
what should Revan do with this, and he dropped his Mega.
I think it was Revan and Brody dropping Mega and Star, is what I saw. They just didn't expect. I think what happened was back kick was forced into his Mega, so then they didn't think they were gonna shock there, and then Shadow's like, okay, we have to call here. He uses his build, they call
Absolutely.
shock, and
But
they just
didn't
didn't
Macy
expect
have a
it.
star too? Am I tripping?
Might have been a drop star from Evan, perhaps. I'm not sure. I don't
I
remember.
thought she had one. I could be. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking at Revan there.
Surely
so I'm
someone
not
in
sure.
chat saw, right? Who knows?
And yeah, I mean that definitely was a bit of a bailout considering, you know, obviously one mistake individually isn't going to dictate an entire race, but in a track like Sherbetland where like, you know, being top spots is quintessential to backing and whatnot, you know, the overextension from Macy, it could have definitely changed the race, but clutch coming in from Sam, you know, early on, 2 shocks, and we'll see what happens here in KC. Kind of a neutral track pick.
Yeah. Also a track we didn't see last war, so that's nice. For a
Yeah,
change.
and another thing to note, 2 shock race, only a +3. So, like, they get off to a good start, but again, not a huge race, and North can live off that.
I find this interesting. Somebody went backwards super early, and now one of the backers is getting free boxes in 9.
Yeah, this is the Evan strat. He goes forward at the beginning to try and trick the runners into, like, waiting for box A when it's Evan and the guy in 8th. And everyone in the room knows that because
Oh,
everyone's
that's
played
so
with Evan.
cheeky. I actually really like that.
True.
I've never heard
Yeah.
about that before.
He does it every war, and
And then he just
it's-
never goes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Ooh, Evan already in
Evan's
the
past
star.
boxes. He's past
oh.
boxes.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, okay, Sam.
He was past boxes. Was that a free tenor? I couldn't even tell.
I think so.
I don't know. They also double dodged in a ground star.
Look at
in
this.
Top 2.
And Revise has Shroomin first,
Revise
'cause
has
Macy.
Shroomin,
Yeah.
Alright, well, top 2 is a wrap this race, I'm pretty sure.
We'll see Pow into blue or Pow into shock. Like, something could happen. But, wow, what a start for South, and what a start for Sam. 3-0 already.
Dude, they're so far behind. I've almost never seen that happen. KC is usually not a track where you get shocked that early, especially if you're also dropping a ground star on the same lap. I
Yeah.
had no idea what happened. I could have allowed that.
And maybe the Evan strat showing its flaws there. I don't know.
Yeah, this could be the last we see of the Evan strat.
Oh, that's a bit of a waste of a shroom too from Revan, you'd think, because obviously top 2 is gone, but maybe if you take cut here and hopefully
Yeah.
pull blue.
If he gets TC here, I would have said that was a pretty big misplay because what else are you trying to get in third? I think Shroom is the
Yeah.
best item you could have got.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I really just... North is just playing for 3-4-5 at this point. Something like that.
Bagger going forward again, I'm pretty sure on the minimap.
There's a Mega being used somewhere behind Revan. Can't see who it is, though.
I think
I mean,
Sam
no
has a
matter
second
what.
shock. I think Sam has second shock.
Yeah, this could be a huge start for South. I mean, if they dodge the start. Looks like Revan's gonna be fine, though.
They should be free to call it. No, they called too
Oh.
early.
Oh, you
Oh
can't be
my-
serious. Oh.
Macy has to be the one calling that. She's the one you need to know about when she's safe. And that's another thing. Nobody just paid attention to the fact that Revan could dodge in a star there because they were top 2, bottom 2, and Sam also probably didn't mention it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lack of awareness there. I mean,
Well, top two is good. Top two is broken though. It's kind of hard to see if they're in a star in that position, but still, I mean, 1-3.
I think you just have to assume that Evan's sitting there. He has to have a star to drop. And
yeah,
again, I don't know, they just pulled the trigger too early there. Sam 4-0 at the moment for a plus 12 lead after 2, so US North are somehow finding ways to do okay in these races. Like, this could be a 30-point lead.
And
Yeah,
I found that exchange. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was wondering maybe if they saw him like going for cut and try to TS him to like gain another spot out of it, but yeah, again, they should definitely know that he's in a star there.
It's gonna be a 4-point swing. Hopefully that doesn't end up mattering, or maybe, hopefully it does. We'll see. That would indicate a close war. And if Sam continues to do this for his team, we could be going to match 3, but it's too early to tell.
Yeah,
But it's
Sam
one of those
on
races,
pace,
like,
on pace for a 24 shock war. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be something? Imagine.
you rarely see a race like that where it was over after lap 1 because of how strong that shock was. And they get a chain pick, which they couldn't do because they didn't win any races last time, so let's see how they can capitalize.
Yeah, we saw Macy have a pretty rough finish here, to say the least, last four. But she has a chance to redeem
revise though.
herself.
Was able to outline. He's in. Oh, now Brevin trims up. So I was gonna say that being in second early was key there, but we'll see this exchange coming up.
Big double here.
Yeah, I don't know where back kick went.
Oh,
He took double. He took double alongside.
Yeah, South in top 2. Revan fell off. We can see on our other screen. But this is looking good for South again.
Yeah, first signs of weakness from North. Failing double, Revan had to make that double to keep the pressure on, and Macy with the Shroom in first. Really good from
Oh, this
South
is clutch
right now.
too. Sam is winning bagging battle with top 2.
Sam
Starting
is just
the
doing
race.
it all. Yeah.
And is that
3
Shadow in third
boxes.
also? Are they top 3?
Let's
I think
see.
it's yeah.
Yeah,
Macy,
it
Shadow,
is.
and
Double
back kick.
megas. They don't know that a blue is not gonna do anything, but they have to chain for it.
Yeah, and
Wow,
they get
it's
Pow a little bit too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Well, that's at least.
Sorry,
clutch.
I had
That's
to.
at
I
least-
had to.
That's at least clutch from Rody to make double with those greens revolving. Though I mean that keeps them alive. But at this point, it's going to be a top. I thought it was going to be top 3 dodge, but I mean you got to secure this first. Don't take the risk of shocking too early, I guess. But I mean the top 3 dodge would have been good if they had it, but they don't. At the moment.
Yeah, it looks like they don't, but I don't know what you need another POW to kill Shadow. Or that'll work.
I think he's just
Okay.
dead.
AC doesn't have that shroom anymore, so maybe there was a blue, or maybe oh yeah, there was POW. So looks like top 2 safe, but another it's a late shock here.
Macy could get
7-8
redded, but
dodge?
it's not gonna matter anymore.
Sean and Revan 3-4.
Anyone
TC in
coming up?
play. I couldn't tell who came up there.
Looked like
Yeah,
all
so
mid spots were
It was
out.
such a cluster at the end.
But Sam again, I mean, this time we can't give all the credit to Sam because Batcake kept first, Macy shroomed up, and put so much pressure on Revan that he had to do a bad double and ended up failing it. Pretty much ending their race right there.
Yeah, we're seeing South kind of click a little bit, you know? I mean, they're sort of slightly getting carried by shocks, but they're doing things right other than that, so you love to see it.
Yeah, carried by shocks, except for that one. They ran that one pretty cleanly, which is a far cry from the first war, 100%.
Yeah, if this was a race 1 or a war 1 situation, it would have been that they needed Shock to have a chance in the race, and it was not that this time. It was the opposite way, actually.
And what would you go here for top 2 and pretty much bottom spots? I would say maybe like a gold mine if you're 8th, right?
Yeah, every time it comes up in call, you're thinking about what spots. Like, you know you have top 2, and then someone asks the question, are we 8th? And then everyone knows it's gold mine time, but maybe they opt for DDR.
which isn't terrible either for top 2. I mean, you can have second back spamming off of cut, or maybe first can take sand hop and second can go maybe a wide sand hop, which is not as common of a strat, but definitely it is in their hands to start off this race.
And hey, the game is giving them track picks here, so they have to make use of them. They have been doing so. I want to see this from Macy's POV because she probably is gonna go for the normal Santa, but she has to avoid drafting Batcake and just dying off the beginning. So let's see what she does. Oh, okay. No draft and a shroom. She's probably just gonna go here. Yeah, get into first early. Don't get redded, and the run starts.
And Batcake is 100% who you want up here to support.
Yeah, I think it might be top 3, perhaps.
Shadows in 7.
Yeah, top 3.
Oh yeah.
Bag battle. There is a little bit of a gap. Might be a free box 30 for someone.
Sam.
Yeah, it looks like Sam.
He's off with Bill.
It's Bill. Okay. Evan getting a little bit of luck here. He kind of needs it considering what's happened so far in this match. And there it is. Wow.
They
Early
TS
shot.
one player on each team in Ultra, but worth it if they're double dodging in stars there. Sean's gonna get all the way up into the front.
Evan had that shock and used it instantly. It was like they knew they had to do
Sean
something
and
in this
Macy,
race.
Sean and Macy in kind of a 1v1 right now. That's gonna be really important for the rest of the race. And it's
And
Macy who gets the
wins.
back spam.
That's huge for her confidence too, considering what happened on Sherberland.
Oh, you guys did not see that, but Revan just completely sweated a red break. That's so important to keep 2-3.
Yeah, we're seeing intense plays coming out from both POVs back and forth.
Looks like
That was
Sam.
gonna be neck and neck.
Ooh.
Oh, was there a troll? No, not quite.
Macy gets hit.
What was that?
Oh, what? She got greened in the cut? I don't know how.
That was
Maybe
from
it might have-
Shock. It was from Shock that got drop lap too.
Oh,
I'd imagine.
yeah. Had to be. And Revise takes first. He
Oh!
gets greened.
This shit's going crazy.
That's gotta be a...
It's gonna be a South Shock, sure.
Yeah, back kick comes up. Back kick will save this race for them. Unless there's a late blue.
Blue left hit was scary.
Macy in a big position to make progress. Oh, that could be a big hit.
It's one of those moments where you forget about the back spam after it got called out too. If you're in like a back spot, you don't expect that to be tight.
Oh, the reds disappear. She'll get 5th out of it, but it could have been so much more. Macy had first, pretty much, you think, secured, and then the shock, you can't really predict that. Someone, especially if it's the other team's green in the cut, that's just so unfortunate.
I mean, that's a good call from North too, because not only are 2 of them in stars, but you're gonna be hard stuck in 9th if you don't use that there with Shock and and if they don't dodge and cut there, it's gonna be kind of like mixed spots and anything can happen. And yeah, it's a good Shock initially, but I mean that was such a swing race. I'm trying to look back to see what exactly. So obviously the Shock swung it, but Macy also was in a good position maybe to potentially give a top 2 after the Shock, but that ground green, it was just such a mess race.
Yeah, the good thing about that shock for US South, even though it should have been a killer shock for them, the first one, but Mace was able to keep first, so Sean losing that 1v1 after dodging pretty much won US South the race, because Sean could have just put so much pressure, probably hit out Macy if he wins that, and then the shock, everything changes, I feel like.
Yeah. Props to Backick. We were talking about how he wasn't really showing himself in the front too much last match. He just dropped a 50-pointer for the first GP. Or I guess there's 4 races since they're doing 12 straight, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and
He's
Sam's
coming alive.
still on a heater. Like, he could have got shock. He dropped Bill first set 30, and then they used another. They used shock after he lost Bill, and then he gets another one for his team. Like, this is what you need when your team's in a slump. If you supply the shocks for your team, the plays will come with it, and that's what we're seeing here.
When it comes to strats too, I think Sam is one of the best in terms of like
For sure.
In terms of like the unorthodox strats. You know, you go for the right before the last box set, he's gonna go for that like hop thingy at the end. We'll see what happens. No back on Jack though here.
Those bumps are kind of crucial because Revan had a chance to get the first, but those bumps and just not taking good line. Oh wow. Oh.
Oh, that kind of worked in a weird
Yeah,
way.
it's
Yeah, he got
good
sniped
enough.
by the leaf pile, but then ends up bumping him into the wall.
Yeah, instead of losing a free spot, it's a little bit of a trade there.
Yeah, he kind of got bailed out. Can't lie.
That's all we need if we want to go to match 3.
And Sam is winning out big time. I'm not sure what happened to Evan. I think he got stuck like around the middle of the strats, but he's gonna get a couple in 10 here.
If that is the case, that's a very strange star from Macy. I don't know if she got forced into it, but a star there is super weird. And now she's in a okay position, I guess. Probably
Yeah.
would have taken that star back if she had the choice.
North is making moves though. We got Revan Gaming up there. I think he just shroomed into second or something. He might have chain one. That's no good.
And a ground star from Revan? What is he doing? Why is he so
Where is
wild?
he going? Okay.
I probably got wheelie locked in that situation.
Yeah.
But it slows down
Yeah.
USS a
He has
little
a
bit.
really good chance to surprise back kick here by slowing down, bumping him off. But he's not going to do it. Oh,
Oh.
he's controller failing really
Oh.
bad.
Missed all of the tricks.
And
Meanwhile,
Macy's
Macy just
off.
got bumped off. Oh
Yeah.
no. This race just went from bad to worse for South.
Does Sam have it though? Sam's been the cure to every problem here. Interesting POW doesn't do anything. No, like in between the target POW spots, really. No shock so far.
That's a sign that Sam has it, because they surely would have shocked 2-3 in that situation.
Evan
US
driving.
yeah.
Yeah, Evan just dropped stuff. Another Bill in play, star in play. Here they come. Oh,
Rise gets hit by
Oh,
his
what?
teammate, I think.
what just happened to him?
Or back spam from
I looked like he flipped to the side. I think his. I don't even know.
Maybe the Bill lasted longer than the star and he got hit by the Bill afterwards. I'm not sure who dodged in what item. Shadow needs to win this race, really. I don't know if he did. They'll get 2-4, 1-4 out of it. Which, I mean, they have a decent lead. So you'll take it. Sam again. Just, it could get to Evan too. Evan's a player who I haven't talked about for
can't
tilt
confirm.
reasons.
I can't confirm that was a star from Shadow. Revise got dropped from Bill, and then a second later,
Yeah,
he was in the wide
that
line,
is-
drifted into the tight line.
And that's an unforced error, really, from US South. Should have been top 2 or at least 1-3, and Revise kind of fumbles it. I'm not sure. I think it had to have been his fault. Shadow does win though. They keep this pressure on.
Yeah, I think the only thing you could justify making a mistake there was maybe a miscommunication between the two, and maybe Shadow wasn't quick enough to say that he was tight. But typically, no matter what, by default, if you're starting off in that wide line, you know your teammate dodging a star. You don't want to take the risk of cutting all the way tight there if you're Revise. But still, it's a decent race. But we'll see. I mean, it seems like all these winning races that US South, there's always this one little tiny error that costs points. We'll see if it costs them in the end. But for now, they are in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that's worth pointing out because last war, U.S. North was kind of they were having, a decent amount of luck, but they were playing so well that every single race where they were winning hard, and
Yeah.
you have to imagine with a shot count as lopsided as the one we're seeing right now, if U.S. South was playing at the top of their game, they would probably be up by a lot more right now, but they're leaving some
Any
points
flip.
hanging.
Any flip in that bagging battle can 100% turn the tides, and we'll see how U.S. North can respond.
And this is a big track to have that flip. I mean, we saw it, or we have seen it in the past. Big shot calls on this track in side races, and Evan needs one. He's one on the tilt meter for baggers. I feel like he's up there compared to Sam, at least. I don't think I've ever really seen Sam tilt as.
Ooh,
when he's
Sean's in
bagging.
position maybe to schlag a bit, yeah, but he tries. Macy
Forces the
not.
shrimp out. Not bad play.
Yeah,
Sam's he's kind of a machine. He's Mr. All Day. Yeah, that guy never stops.
this is a key bomb spot. This is huge right here. Gets
gets
one.
one.
Gets one, but Brody. Okay, it looked like he went for respawn.
Yeah,
but
that was
no.
weird. It looked like he drifted a lot earlier.
That's
than he
that
actually
Brody
did.
lag. And one thing to note, like high div bag battles, sometimes you just see the baggers just wait there the entire race until one of their teams really needs it. So depending on what spots these players find themselves in, this could be a shockless race or a
I think
late shock.
North is kind of gone. Speaking of spots, I think
Yeah.
North is top 2. I think
One
all
back.
of
Yeah,
us is kind of back here. Revan's
Edison
holding the
and
blue right now.
Brody probably.
Yeah, they could even have maybe another Shroom up there in second.
Back kick will take cut. Macy will
No,
fail it.
bad respawn, I think. No.
Oh my. It's Macy's still in a little bit of a
The
pickle
first
here.
real mistake of this war, to be fair to Macy. She has been fantastic this war.
Yeah.
Aside from that.
We don't have really a perspective on what's going on in the front. Shadow's off. This could be a big
Shadow's
race.
off, but
Ooh.
Sean making the play too.
And
If
one of the
North has
baggers,
shock-
yeah, one of the baggers took off. So Evan probably got a box 10 while Sam was going for it. At least that's what I think happened. No, Evan's back here.
Evan's
So maybe
off, yeah. It's a
South
South shock.
Might save them again. He
Blew
spams
out.
blue.
I don't think this is gonna
Maybe.
get there.
Yeah,
That's such an interesting play by Evan, though. Why would Evan go for strat when his team's winning? It looked like they had very strong position in that race, and Macy's gonna get 5th out of this. Sean back here, Revan back here. Wow, I'm
the thing
shocked.
about, yeah, that bagging battle was so even though. My guess is that potentially Sam went first, and then maybe pulled a star, chained a star, and
Maybe,
Evan went
yeah.
back first. But
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't see where Sam was, but it looked like one bagger is still sitting there, and the other bagger made strat. And I always would assume that the team that needed chalk more would have been the bagger to go for strat. And 1-3-5 out of that. We were saying how North were gone, and what a comeback we're seeing from these players.
it's the Sam show in this particular
It
world.
really
and
is.
Sam's putting the team on his back.
You have to think, if this keeps going, Mac, is he lurking in the back? I mean, this is a majority SE lineup. I feel like even if Evan's getting very unlucky, the switch is going to happen, I feel like, if he's available.
Yeah, I did not expect to see that at all, given how the first match went. Either way, it's what is it, 44 points? I mean, that's still doable. They got some time to work with. Like I said, US South could probably be up more if they were just playing a little bit tighter around the edges. That doesn't make sense. Sharper around the edges? Yeah, that's this thing.
Even points-wise, back kick, this is what we expect back kick to do. 62 after 6. This is the point range I'd expect them to be on, and the track picks just keep on coming. And back kick isn't first here, I'm pretty sure. So, gonna be hard to get him out. One thing I always say on this track is, the first set is actually really important, because if you get one guy who can shroom past back kick here, he takes control of the race. So, controlling the boxes here is hard to do, but like if Macy got one, it could have been trouble for North, and it could have been the same way, opposite way around. We're seeing with Revan here.
Yeah, Revan
Yeah,
actually in a
really
really important spot now with a shroom. It's gonna be important to see whether or not he gets into first.
Oh, he gets back. That's a huge back. Cause now he's never gonna get the first here. I feel like he's gonna get pressured out.
Yeah, and missing
And
the box,
this
so
is-
it could get redded.
This is a really interesting spot to have
Big
bomb
bomb
in,
play
though.
here. Oh, misses.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty good throw to me, especially, you know, we got two
Another one.
Americans.
This has
This
to be
is even
you
close.
have to hit here.
Yeah.
Guess
Oh,
what?
that was
it is!
nasty.
And dodges! Oh my
That was
God.
nasty. The bomb snipe was
Gets
you
hit
know,
for-
pretty routine, but hopping over the shells was sick.
That's the
That's
Macy
Ultra
we've been
Instinct.
looking for. Yeah. Brody takes her out, but Revise just has the freedom of the world to backspam here. At least I would think so. It doesn't look like he's too far gone in first. And he's not gone in first at all.
But still,
I don't
with
know.
this, I'm surprised it's still top 3. I mean, my guess is, you know, just somehow South just, you know, got screwed over by those ground reds as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. The blue came at a really bad time for South, but there's another blue. This time it's Sean getting hit out.
I'm just so confused how North were top 3 to begin with. I swear,
The
Revise
ground
has
shell
gone
had to have
first.
been the ground shells, but this race has swung
Yeah,
so
probably.
much
And-
for Mountain.
Tigers are still sitting. This is really good for South. There's no shock here, and there isn't.
Yeah,
No
Revan in a
side red
really
either.
tough spot.
Evan's got to go all out here.
Another blue. That's a fourth blue. Macy has to drive fast to avoid these greens. It's gonna be tricky with her teammates up there. We'll see.
Oh, misses the MT.
Oh, this is
misses
sloppy.
another
This is
MT.
sloppy.
Oh,
She has to concede. Revan is gaming.
You
he could
gotta
win.
go for-
He could win here.
Oh, he doesn't back though. Revan doesn't back. That's key.
I think he has his eyes on first, or just keeping a spot here.
Oh, the fib could have been scary.
Surely
does
you
well.
gotta back though with 3-4 behind him, right?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
hindsight,
honestly,
maybe.
Yeah,
Honestly,
in hindsight for sure.
yeah. I think he was hoping that he was closer to first than he actually was, because he ended up just kind of playing safe and keeping his spot. But yeah, I think South still got maybe 1-3-4. So you have to think he
Yeah, I think
he
so.
had some
Almost back
chances.
kick got back. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I feel like all three of us, or us and the player themselves, like had different ideas of what to do there. I was thinking he was gonna triple spam on bridge to try for first, and instead he just plays safe and keeps second. But in the end, 1-3-4 for South.
1-3-4.
Great job from them. They did get 2 blues, to be fair. Like, I think maybe Revise got blued out at first or hit a ground shell, and then they retaliated with 2 blues before the lap
there
was
was a
over.
blue.
Yeah, I'm
too,
pretty
yeah.
sure there were 2 blues for either team that race, if I was keeping track correctly. So that's a thing that can happen, I guess. I don't know if I've ever seen that many blues on DK Mountain before.
Yeah, and again, if North were up, it would make more sense why he played so passive there. But he didn't even think about it. I feel like he just held those, knowing he's just gonna keep second for himself. And then at the very end, when he knew second was secured, he went for the backspam. And in the end, it's a losing play.
You know what? I'll say it. Edison would have backed those greens.
For sure.
I'm just saying, for what it's worth, I think he would have
taken
been
all the boxes and backed them too. Like, and like the thing is, there was a fib on the bridge too. Like, he could have really blocked one of the sides off, and Macy would have had no choice but to hit them or hit us with another hop dodge.
How do they respond here in CM though? Let's think forward.
It's their track. This is North. I mean, Revise is a good runner of this track, and he's in first. Revise versus Revan in top 2 here. Second sometimes does start ahead, or doesn't look like that's gonna be the case.
Both
Revise,
baggers are going for strat going forward, by the way. Oh,
Revan went for the super fast low trick, missed it, and got punished immediately.
but here come North. Like, somehow we're giving up those boxes, I guess.
Yeah,
They get
2
really lucky
jackpot
with the shrooms.
starts. Really rare to see 2 players from the same team getting all the way up into first. They must have
Yeah,
gotten
Brody's up here
really
too.
lucky.
I don't know if this is badly played from South or just very lucky from North. And look at these items here. How Sean's dead, but Brody just takes his spot. Macy's
I like
gonna
that
be
foul call.
huge here.
oh,
Yeah.
red alert, red alert. Sam has shock. He was
Oh,
the one
no.
that, I mean, they both failed, but what is it? Evan was so far forward. He failed much later than Sam did. So here we go. Actually, no, it's Evan. It's Evan. It's Evan. He has shock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Evan, from the wars I play with him, he's not a big glitch guy. So to see him very aggressively go for it is not something I would expect, and he gets shocked because of it. And oh, this is a big star here.
Yeah, this
My
is looking
fault.
like it's gonna be a top 2 for North.
Yeah, my apologies. The footage was so grainy for a second. I'm like, wait, that's Sam. No, it's not. But yeah, this is gonna be so big for Revan. Oh, he had to stop at the back of the rail. Surely you gotta
He's still
call
in
the
a
guys
great,
out.
yeah, he's still in a really good position here.
Yeah, here it comes.
Yeah.
Is that 2 stars, or maybe was that the other team? I didn't see the name in time.
If he
but,
looks back here and if the North member, this is top 4. Oh no, back kick's up here. So back kick, the
Back
only
kick
hope
lives.
really.
I don't know if he got
he
the
gets
box
the
in time though.
first-
Yeah, Edison got the box and he used that
Yeah.
fib to keep it. The POW
That Pow's
could
good for
maybe be
back
big.
kick.
I think it's just gonna be enough to keep second though. He's not gonna gain any spots off of it.
Yeah, but still, that's a huge keep from back kick. Otherwise, that's top 4 and everything changes. But because of back kick there, it's not horrible. Like, it could be so much worse.
Yeah,
This is definitely what Evan needed.
Yeah,
For sure.
North was due for a good, a good shock, big race type of thing. It's been too long.
It was kind of a freebie from what you said, Jaggy. It looked like Sam just played very hard for the glitch and it didn't work out for him. And when you're so hot like Sam is, you'd expect him to at least make glitch or keep it shockless there, and gets North back into it in a big stage like this, going for glitch and failing it. I don't know. It'll be tough to swallow.
I don't blame Sam at all. He is very adamant and very consistent with those strats usually, but with the lead that US South had and decent spots. They weren't in like great spots, I don't believe, but they were decent spots there. Obviously, you can't tell in the very beginning, but yeah, definitely the swing race that US North needed. And what spots did they get exactly?
I think 1, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
I mean,
undoes
TF is
mountain
huge
race,
here.
plus
Or
a little
DK.
bit more.
DKM is off the table, but it's the same GP, so it's not going to repick, thankfully for them. RBC is interesting. I mean, you could get, double draft here.
Yeah, I mean, the DK Mountain pick's very not good. He just kills the
It
odds
reduces your
and-
chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it matter? It
Nope.
looks like it might have.
I gotta say,
see.
this is one of my favorite tracks to watch top level. It just feels like they're just scrapping like the whole time, and like every turn matters.
I think the opening is super important. How do the drafts go? Because if first can keep first, which I feel like doesn't happen that often, we'll see. Macy not gonna. Okay, she does get one, and Revan's forced to stop. And Macy gets golden.
Yeah, that's major. And Backegg was still up there too. He went
Just
from
like
second
that.
to first.
Yeah. Like, this was a 1-3-4 pick for North, and now it's Macy backkick top 2, and they can, like, the pressure's on now. Looks like Evan is winning though.
Yep.
Evan is winning. The thing is, was he able to get a box, or were they taken away from him?
There's a bump there that I'm not sure. I don't think that's -5able, but you never know.
Not anymore, I don't think. I think
Nah,
maybe a few,
no
a few
shroom
years
there.
ago, a wheelie bump like that is a -5, but I don't know nowadays. That does kind of suck though, when Revan gets hit on the rail also. He tried to block it by throwing the
They
green
need
forward.
shock here. I feel like if Evan has it, they're gonna use it here.
Yeah,
Not
already
sure what the
looking really
case
bad.
is. Doesn't look like it's gonna come. And there's a TC in the back too. Brody in a
4 for South.
horrible position. Like, they do get it.
Sean does his teammate. Gonna matter a little bit.
That's a very desperate shock. They only have one dodge, but I knew they had to call it there. And still, Sean's not gonna. We still don't even see Sean in the frame on Macy's screen. Or, I think it's Evan behind, so.
Yeah, they have to call it there because Evan's going back, and the only way to go back is to fall off. So they just have to use
Yeah.
it before he gets there.
So this
And
really
just
comes
hope-
down to the second shock. So Evan playing himself back into this war and really helping his team. Although, this is still top 2 break and a deadly POW.
Blue
Looks like
though, here we go.
Sean didn't even survive that POW. So
Oh yeah, is
Macy's
he over
like,
the wall?
Macy's in the clear.
Oh my
No
God.
way!
No way! I have never seen that.
She was still
Oh
in
my
such a good
God.
spot.
Oh my God, Revan's dead. Thankfully. Oh,
Revan's
that is-
tumbling. What are we watching? Backkick has a monster lead after the dust settles, but damn.
I can't believe that. Bill for Revan, will we see a shock? One of the
Shadow and
baggers is
Omega
on the
too.
Shadow
respawn.
Omega.
If anything, Sam has it in 9th, because Evan just did the bagger respawn, I'm pretty sure.
3-4 for USA. They could be getting shocked after set. That'd be really bad.
Brody's out. Brody gets redded off the track, I'm pretty sure. Late shock maybe from AC? No.
Oh, what a
wow.
star.
What the?
Oh my God.
And then Revise or someone fell off the track?
That was devious.
Crazy race. But
And I'm
Oh
gonna
my.
tell you guys right now, that's not Macy's fault. It looked really weird, but the thwomp moves back and forth. and Macy realized that and tried to get out of that line. That's not Macy's fault at all. That's extremely unfortunate.
Yeah, one of those
Nah,
things
but-
that
yeah.
you couldn't imagine. Like, that's never something that you would guess would happen during a race, right? But it just,
I've never actually seen that happen in all my 12 years of playing MKW. That's
Yeah, you're only
crazy.
yeah, you're only thinking about that on Movie Highway, right? You just don't want to be in line with the cars. But I've never thought about that
Because-
on RBC.
yeah.
is crazy.
If Macy waits to MT, Swamp's getting her anyway. Maybe she barely passed it. It was hard to tell. But considering how early she released that MT, I'd imagine that she saw that Swamp and got scared. I don't know. That was just a really weird scenario all around, but
Yeah.
nonetheless.
It was
Yeah.
looking like the most free top 2 of all time because they got Sean, Revan, and Brody all with the same target POW, which was kind of brutal for them.
They
And,
still got +5 race out of it, so it could have been better, but it still works. And for everyone watching, if you get blue there now, stick hard left or go very middle or something like that, because something freakish like that could happen.
yeah. You learn something new every
In a
day.
track like BC3, though, anybody can have the potential to take double and whatnot here, but I'd say if you really tilt it, if you have any team that's going to win this race potentially, if Backcake makes Ultra and one of, South block it potentially, they'd be favored early, but we'll see.
Yeah, early shroom from Revan's gonna stop Becky from getting an ultra for free.
Revan's going to take Ultra
We're
first.
gonna go for it. A couple
Yeah,
people are
Revan-
sitting on it.
Oh,
No, Macy.
oh, man.
Both our POVs failing cuts, so we're gonna have no POV of the front. Revan fails Ultra. Doesn't look like Batcake is back here, so Batcake wins out that Ultra 1v1.
I think
But
Sean
Sean
took
is
regular
probably
cut
leading the
first.
pack. Yeah,
yeah.
I think Sean's winning. Edison's up there too. I think it might be top 2. And there's an early blue, but Sean could have a great item. He could have 2 more shrooms. Vize is back here. Sam looks like he's gonna win the bag battle because Evan had Bill. So this could be very big for them. It's
Yeah,
top
mid-pack-
3-5, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that is brutal. Where is
Or
Beck?
yeah,
There? Yeah, he's 4th. That's their best spot.
free
Jeez.
cuts. If they decide to go for their Sean, they block
That's
Ultra.
clutch.
Sam falls off, so no shock. This is
It's
looking
clutch
like
from Evan, though. Clutch from
Yeah.
Evan. He stopped start Sam. He's winning.
Yeah, it could be what they need. They also really need to avoid this TC right now. Yeah, South kind of clawing their way back into this. Shock would be
Oh,
huge
good
for
play.
them. 2-3 is very reachable. First is kind of gone, though. We'll see. Backing with some protection. Gonna be nice
Yeah,
for now.
it's all about preserving the lead now. Their season or their World Cup is on the line here. They don't care about winning this race. They just can't let them top 3 really. There's the
Oh.
block. Brody predicts it, and he's gone. Huge cut
They
here.
gotta figure this out. They both make it.
Nice. Now, is there a late blue potential here onto South? With that
Really
POW,
well
probably
played.
not.
Really well played POW by Macy there to go over the off-road.
There's
It
no
looks like they're
bomb
gonna
here
hold
in their home
P3.
3. This is a huge hold. Wow, that's actually very, very well played in the end.
Yeah, I think that was a winning race for South, with North getting bottom 2. And that could have been really bad.
It's a fantastic recovery there.
Yeah.
It just goes to show the resilience. U.S. South completely battered in that first war, and then obviously they have the upper hand here, but it just goes to show that this team are very mentally resilient. And yeah, that I thought for sure that Shock would swing the war, but neither bagger pulled it. Evan was in a position to get it after he stop started Sam lap 2, but he got hit out. He had Bill, and he got hit by the triple reds and Macy, and then fell off. But neither bagger had it, and it was just U.S. South prevailing in the end.
Yeah, I feel like if that same situation happened in the first war, I feel like North would have just taken it. We saw so many times they were like, oh, they were top 2, top 3, and they just did not falter whatsoever. But South had they had some tricks up their sleeve. And now we're looking at, what is that, 50-ish points, 2 races to go. This is almost out of reach. Good chance we're gonna be getting a match 3, which I don't have any of the bracket matches even gone to a match 3 so far? Can't think of any, to be honest.
Nope. Actually, so far it's been all 2-0 from my recollection.
Yeah, because
Actually,
I don't
there was
remember.
one. There was one, I believe. It was
Was it-
England and Japan, remember? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
where they
right,
got
right,
wiped
right,
and then they won the
England.
next two. That's it. Yeah. True.
I completely forgot. I
That
tuned in
was-
for
that was
2
an
matches
interesting
where he
match,
dominated.
Yeah, alright, we got Stadium. I think another track that we also didn't see last war. And also one of the ones where execution matters a lot. You know, when you talk about turn skip, wall bounce.
This is going to be such an interesting battle, too. I mean, Sean and Macy are two of the best runners in the game in this track. Oh, the
Macy
bomb got Sean
Sean.
out, though. Oh, actually, not quite. Slowed him down.
Revenant first, though, with 2 shrooms, actually. Or no, not first yet. Wait. They're both on first
They're
on their own
both
screens.
first, yeah, it's so weird.
And they both failed
Revan
turn skip
forced
in
the
the
shroom.
same way.
Oh,
But
my
Macy got
God.
hit
That's
out,
concerns.
and Revan survives.
That was really funny. They both kind of made the same fail on turn skip, but since Revan had the shrooms, he was able to recover a lot better. And so I think he's still got 1 shroom in first now. Looking pretty good.
I mean, a Mega and 7th for Macy. Yeah, I don't blame Macy for chaining it there, considering that N are starting to break just a little bit. And this time, Revan redeems himself with a nice turn skip there. Pretty clean. Sean is also supporting behind Edison. You know, it's all looking like a, top 2 so far for USN.
Yeah, Macy has to avoid Edison with the red, so not able to keep her shrooms for cut. Does pull another one, though, so maybe she'll be able to break the plane. But again, South doesn't really need to win this race. They just need to kind of hold
exactly.
an okay race. You know, 3, 4, 5 is plenty.
Aw, can't take cut because she had grass or the dirt.
Yeah.
But still, not in a bad position here.
Maybe anticipating a wide back there.
There's a shock.
Oh, this has
Early
got to be
shock.
South shock.
Yeah,
Triple
Evan
it
just
is.
dropped shrooms. Evan dropped shrooms for Revan. So he'll probably hold first, but again, South doesn't need first. They just need, you know, middle spots.
3 of them
Triple
dodged
Nanas
from
might
what
be
I
the best
saw.
item here. Triple Nanas, can he? Oh, I thought he would have went all 3. Instead, doesn't look like that's the case. Bad Cake, probably holding on to second, and we see this has to be bottom 2 for US North.
Yeah,
2, 4, 5, 6 or 2, 3, 5, 6 for US
Yeah,
South.
Sam
like that.
again, big shock there.
Yeah. They stick to the game plan, go for the middle spots. You know, early shock can kind of secure that. You take cut in your stars and whatever, and there's pretty much nothing that they can do about it afterwards. So
And I
definitely
gotta
a
point
smart
out too,
decision.
Revan has been in a couple positions where he was, he could have potentially backspin, right? DKM was a notable one where maybe he could have backed 3, 4. Another position to potentially back cake there, to mix up the backspans, but he goes 1 high and then backs a couple on landing after. It's interesting, right?
I would have went all 3.
he-
Like, you just have
Yeah.
to go for the hit there, I feel like.
Yeah, with Edison in third, potentially getting a combo red maybe on bad cake after a potential back spam too. You never know, but we'll see here how that we'll see how that shakes up the spots or lack thereof of a shake up of the spots. We'll see how what. Okay, I can't think of an analogy right now. I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, interesting. So we're seeing a mathematically impossible race.
Yeah,
or
they
war.
forfeit.
Yeah. They're just gonna
The
call it.
forfeit is up in the chat.
Really didn't see that coming. I have absolutely no idea what we're in store for match 3 because that war, they kind of steadily built their lead over the first half, but it felt like it was kind of on the back of Sam pulling a ridiculous amount of shocks, which is not the way US North won their first match, So there's no telling what's gonna happen going forward.
Yeah, big decision on US North's hands. will they sub out Evan here? If Mac is available. I'm pretty sure Mac should be available. So we'll see. And we won't be able to find out until that last guy joins. So very interesting. But this race will not count towards anything. I think they might even sit DC here. Yeah.
Yeah. Vote now on your phones. Who DC's first? Oh. This is actually funny. For people who don't know, if you go AFK, the game kicks you out of the room after about 30 seconds. So that's why they're just sitting here, not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, in regards to taking away from the gameplay a little bit, in regards to a overall showmanship aspect, we have I think we've garnered a lot of attention. We've been seeing a lot of new faces here in chat, and it's nice to see. I was wondering if MKWC, as a quote unquote esport was still alive, that potential hope, but we're seeing a lot of new faces, and welcome everybody. Welcome along, and thank you to Evasive for creating some of those commands on chat. Really, providing some insight to new faces.
Yeah, it's good to see the reach of the game, kind of expanding or at least being maintained. People have been talking about the game dying for who knows how long at this point.
The game that never dies. If you've never seen that documentary from was it Ashkin, I believe?
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking that up specifically. It's Ashkin Esports, the racing game that refuses to die. If you haven't seen that mini doc, I would highly recommend it. It was posted 3 years ago and it's still relevant to this day. That just goes to show, how far this game's come, even though it's not like a, world renowned esport. It's, it's a niche that I hope will stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of races left to be played. We got match 3 coming up in a little bit. I don't know, are we gonna go? We could send it to a break. We could just stay on and chat until they're ready to go. I guess
I think we
it's
go
kinda...
for a little ad break followed by some music and whatnot.
Oh yeah, get the Twitch
yeah.
ads out of the way. That's actually a great idea. Because Twitch has been
Fantastic.
a problem. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is a crucial match 3 coming up between US South and US North. I mean, US North first match was, they played solidly as a team, no mistakes, really. I mean, barely any. I shouldn't say no mistakes, but they played, as a unit, as a machine. But US South, coming back strong. Sam, dictating the pace early with I think it was a 5-0 shot count early on, and won the overall shot count by about 3. But still, US South, they made a couple of little flubs in the first 3 or 4 races that cost them a couple spots, but they still were able to stay up there and really right at home. So match 3, crucial coming up here, and a couple of things to know. Max subbing in for Evan, and Henry subbing in for Zesti in the casting department.
Yeah, what's going on, you guys?
Ooh,
Really
welcome.
happy to be here. Let's get loud for match 3.
Let's get loud.
Let's go.
This-
yeah, a couple
this
new
is
faces on the
gonna be
screen. Mac was waiting in the wings, and honestly, I don't think Eva did that. I don't want to say he did a bad job at all. I mean, match 1 was super even. Match 2, kind of with bagging, you can only control so much, and sometimes just a tiny little difference can, cause the shot count to add up one way or another. But they're not leaving anything up to chance at this point. Put in Mac. They're tested, tried and true, bagging GOAT, and one of the people's favorites. So should be interesting.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, Mac has been absolutely amazing throughout this entire tournament. He's had some stellar performances in the bracket and Swiss stage, and I have no doubt that we're going to see a lot of great things from you today, especially with the added-on chemistry between him and the runners as they all play for Superbia and GSC as well.
Yeah. Running wise, US South definitely pulled it together that second match. We were talking about how they'd be able to fix their mentality and rebound after they kind of got swept match 1, and they did their job. They definitely showed up. So it feels like such a toss-up right now. I have no clue who's about to take this one. Do you guys have any thoughts one way or the other?
I think, considering it, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to say right now that I think US South have definitely responded to that first match blowout almost as perfectly as you could. Aside from the first 3 races, I think there were a couple of minor errors that cost them, 2-4 points on the first 3 or 4 races. I think they responded brilliantly. And I think I don't think it's a matter of momentum necessarily, because I think US South, if you were to have any team in this tournament in regards to, resetting your mentality, I think US North are the type of team, Torp mentioned, they have the talent and the skill and the chem. I think they are just, a very good team all around. So I don't think that there is too much of a momentum factor here.
For sure, yeah. And I think instead of picking an outright winner for myself, since obviously we saw that, North blew him out in match 1 and South responded during match 2, I think I'm instead going to pick out, a couple of keys for each team to win. So in the case of US North, I'd say their biggest key is probably they need Brody to score like he was scoring during match 1. Since obviously he's kind of been like the neck and bones of this whole US North squad, and he's been doing absolutely amazing these past few bracket matches. So if he's getting, low scoring outposts like he did during the last match, then it's going to be difficult for North to win. And then I think for South, it's just the dominance of Sam. He really needs to,
Did you just see that though, Revan?
Oh, wow.
And immediately
Yeah,
he went for an instant release of that MT to try to maybe put Backache off, but he ended up getting really bumped himself, not being careful, and got redded.
Yeah, just to touch on that was an old strat that I think, who used to do that? Somebody in PT, it might have been Derek used to do that. He showed me at one point. Yeah, you can mini turbo right away, try to get in front of the person in first and cut them off on sandhop, but it didn't work out there.
It was just a wheelie bump that put him off, really.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
This is a very huge golden pull for Macy as well. This is going to put him in the top 2 spots, and it's going to have South sitting pretty in the top 3
up here.
Yeah, looking good for South. Really good. Backache is way up here. Edison joins the fray though, so chance for them to respond. He's in a tough spot though.
Revan has an ultra taking item himself as well, with Triple Trims in 4th place. He does fail the wall glitch, but it does seem as though he's going to be up there with him. He's going to be fighting a tough battle though, as he only has Edison as his backup.
And
Yeah, I
and,
wonder
and this
if
is
it goes
who you
for-
want. This is who you want in third. Edison, like I said, very good in game IQ. He's most likely going to be able to maintain his position if he plays this right.
Oh,
Ouch.
tough. Him and Brody both getting the bad bounce on the fast 3 from Ultra. They risked it for the biscuit, and no dice, no
Does
dice.
pay
So
off for
Shadow
Revan, though,
moves
as he
up.
does have this mega.
Seems to me like Sam was winning out the whole time, and considering that there's no shot coming in, I would imagine Sam has.
He's
But
out.
Blue comes in.
Yeah, back kick finally goes down, but South taking over still in maybe top 2. Yeah, the Mega's not quite enough to get up there. At last second Blue,
Another blue at the last
that might
second.
connect. Oh my gosh.
It's getting Macy at the
Yeah,
line. They're
you have
canceling it.
to. You have to.
Somebody dodged
Brody
up.
comes up.
It's Brody though. And US
Wow.
North steals first place.
And just like that, the tables have turned on this first race alone. My goodness.
Yeah, so
That is-
unfortunate for US South.
That's 100% the call, though. I mean, you have to, absolutely have to cancel the blue there. Just barely not enough to maintain first, though.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a spammed dodge by Brody at the end, or if he, held it till the right moment when they were about to cancel it, so they didn't have time to react. But yeah, really tough break for US South, who seemed to play that race, nearly to perfection. They're still going to walk away with a win, but not as much as it would have been.
Big steal at the line there for Prototype as he's able to get first place and keep it within striking distance for US North. I mean, that could have been really bad for them at the line there.
Yeah, definitely clutch. We saw, did he and Revan both pull
Yeah,
Mega?
that. By the way, I can confirm that was like not spammed, but he used it. There was no mega indicator. He pulled it and then used it. That was spammed. So yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely something US South could not have predicted in that scenario.
Yeah, and yeah, again, even if there's a chance that somebody on the other team has a dodge, you're getting blue on the last turn. If you get comboed like once, you're probably just getting 8th. So, worth a cancel.
Waluigi Stadium coming in for US South, though. I mean, first is not the best, but not the worst position to start in Waluigi Stadium. You have to play your cards right, though, if you're Brody here. But Brody he's a solid player all around. I don't know, I didn't catch the lineup page, but I think Brody is one of the most, I shouldn't say most quickly improved, but since 2021, he really has established himself as a top 15 player in the game. We'll see how he holds up.
Yeah,
He's
and,
correct.
I mean, he made a lot of noise. I mean, for GSC with Lightspeed and Sam Legends right now. I mean, that guy is super duper cracked, and he's really only came back to the game.
Oh,
throughout-
Macy,
No.
that is
Oh my
filthy.
goodness! What a
Yeah.
shot by Macy!
And that's Macy and Brody, the Sam Legends teammates, going at it on opposite sides.
I was like, why is he going tight here? Nah, he plays that perfectly.
Yeah.
Scary turn skip.
The
She
wheelie
makes
bump
it, gets bumped afterwards. It seems like pretty much everybody made turn skip there. I was expecting Macy to just be in first after that. But again, US North, some of the fastest players in the game.
Ouch. She's getting
Yeah.
sent all the way down to 8th place.
I've been trying to run it up here. I think he has Sean behind him.
Mhm.
I expect
It's
to see them
important to
kind
point
of gap the field.
Revan is probably one of the best runners in this room, and I have no doubt that he's going to be able to run this comfortably in first place without making too many errors. So it's going to be difficult to get him out of first and for US South to respond.
Yeah, he's zooming away.
And Mac did run away. I mean, he's still shrooming, though. No bad. Yeah, they're both shrooming in this scenario. Mac winning out.
Yeah, shock and maybe a blue, the only things that can really help US South's chances at this point. Otherwise, they kind of just have to play for mid spots.
Mac slowing. He probably has Shocker Bill in this scenario. I mean, still a shockless race would be fine if Mac can maintain 10, but it looks like he gets overtaked.
This target pound might be lethal. It gets Macy into the wall. Ouch.
Yeah, interesting
that's
that Edison
not
had
good
Pow in
for her.
8th, probably for a while. I wonder how many spots they were able to gain off that otherwise. Last second target shock, getting one person off. It's back kick.
Ah. So that's
Gonna be
bottom
a-
2 for US South right
Yeah,
there.
big race for North. And the turning point there was, that turn skip, I think it was lap 1, Macy had the triple greens, and she ends up getting bumped out. And I think if she stays up in the front and kind of contests those top spots, it would have been a lot harder for Revan and maybe his other teammates to hold their top spots. And once you give Revan an inch on that track, he'll take a mile. I mean, he just made that look so easy.
Credit to USN, they played that spectacularly. I mean, even with the FIP snipe coming out from Macy, she still wasn't able to respond to. It was just top 2 all race there for US North, getting a couple crucial backs at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, and Henry, you were talking about, if Brody steps up for US North, that's going to be a sign of whether or not they can win this match. And he's on 27 after 2 right now, so
Yeah.
he's kind of going in.
I mean, we've seen that guy constantly sort of be the number 1 or number 2 scoring option whenever his teams win, whether, it's US North throughout this tournament, Sam Legends, or Lightspeed. Whenever that guy's at the top of the box score, you're guaranteed to get yourself a W.
Yeah, let's see if they can capitalize on the top 2 now. US North. Keeping it pretty close, though. I would like to see that keep up ideally. Everyone loves a close match,
Of course, yeah. Maple True, a little bit unorthodox for top 2, 5, 6. However, it is going to go Peach Gardens instead. What do you think is the response that US North has to have playing at these disadvantaged spots?
I mean, Gardens is just kind of a toss-up regardless. There's no...
Yeah.
I don't think there's any real way to solve this track and know what to do. You just kind of leave it up to chance. There's no real way to predict who's going to shoot into first, although it looks
One of
like
the backers committed early. Is this a bill pull potentially?
I think it might be, yeah.
We'll see though. I mean, every once in a while you do see a bagger just kind of doing some funny business, but usually in the top tier of this game, you don't see a bagger committing that early. We shall see though.
I think Backache just hit the dog, and Shadow got TC'd earlier, so North actually has a lot of I want to say the word is equity right now in this race.
A lot of breathing room for the US North right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1,
a lot
3, 2 shrooms for Revan right now, and I think Revi's just back his only item, so he doesn't even have to, slow down or avoid anything. This could get out of hand.
Oh, Revise tried it. He tried to get him right there, but Revan's able to take the cut in 3rd place, and now they're sitting pretty in top 2 with a shroom in 2nd.
I mean, surely. Oh, I was gonna say Sam had a bit of a lead, but Mac kept going back. He opted not to try to chain for stars or chain in 9th, and it looks to me like it might pay off eventually. Mac is somewhat close. Not anymore.
Close. Yeah, one of the baggers just took
So
cut.
Mac turns around and goes forward, though.
Oh,
Oh.
here we go.
Wait, Sean's a lap behind. What's going on?
Whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
God.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow your
I was
roll.
not expecting to see that name.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Could be
I
some
don't
star drop attempts considering Sam was just so far gone.
know. Now
at
he's
first.
still going back. I don't know what Sean's cooking right now. Can't lie.
Sean may be trying to, I don't know, maybe trying to drop the star. There it
Pretty
comes.
sure that was a North shock, though. I don't think I saw Max spin on the map. I was not looking.
Did you guys see any Dodgers? I'm not so sure right now.
I mean, Revan's so far ahead. I think their top 2 is just going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
They probably call
And
it right at the end of
turning
somebody's
point-
star first set.
Yeah, and that's going to be a top 3 for USN. I think the turning point definitely
Wow.
was Revised trying to go for that block. That
Yeah,
Huge
that would have
hit.
been their only chance at stopping Revan from getting a free dub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Who knows what Sean was doing back there? Maybe he made the difference. I have no idea.
I guess we'll never know.
No, we will. There's instant replay. I'm the instant replay guy. I'll take a look to see what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe he was going to drop a star for his teammate. Maybe he just fell so far behind and that's what he was going to do, but he just kind of tipped out of there. And he wasn't even like super close to Sam either to like
He
hit
was
him.
not that far in the pack either. He dead stopped. I mean, he got stop start, I believe. He wasn't too far. And then all of a sudden, there was a yoink. Just started going back.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that happen with runners in Division 1 all the time. They understand that the items that they're getting aren't so good, and they kind of have to drop back in the race, so they sort of act as a second bagger. I mean, obviously it's impossible to get the shock in 8th place. However, you still are going to be able to get some clutch triple shrooms or clutch stars to drop for your team, maybe dodge the shock, or maybe get your teammates to take the cut.
Yeah, we'll have to, maybe if we get the chance to interview them, that's something that we can keep in our back pocket to ask later. But we have to win first.
USN up 23 here, and with BCW in top 3, this is, I mean, no matter which division you're in, this is pretty standard stuff. And if it does pick it, I mean, you'd expect some insta-backs. There was one scenario where I remember a team not backing immediately. That was Japan versus US South. Japan were top 3, and then they didn't back immediately, and US South just caught up. But you got to think that's going to be the play here, right?
Yeah, typically. There was a while in the meta where every team just backed regardless, and then some people like stopped doing it, and now I feel like it's back in. It's kind of weird.
It maybe a double back and then like third.
Or like one person keeps
red.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See.
The times are changing. It's going in and out of style for sure.
Very good stuff from US South to avoid that. That was a double back at least.
Yeah, but Revan is driving like the wind right now. I mean, this
Not
guy.
flubbing at all.
Goodness, yeah.
Against Bat, you definitely need that against someone like Back
Yeah,
Kick. We'll
he's
see.
got a great low trick, great like stair section, and he barely holds first against back kick. That could make a huge difference here. He's gonna block cut with the fib.
Yep.
Smart to
not
get
see
rid
the
of the mana,
funky
but oh
chaser.
no! It costs him huge.
Wow, tried to cut it a little bit too tight. He's got to hit the TTs and go a little bit wider than that.
Yeah, we saw. I mean, match 1 we saw him block glitch and lose a spot to Shadow, and this time it's Macy who gets up there, contests him, gets the bump, and now South flips this race around.
Wow, yeah. I mean, great driving by Revan in first, though. My goodness.
Yeah, might have just been, I mean, a miscue to block glitch and not just, save the time and go fast again.
Such a closely contested bagging battle up until now, and Mac falls off. I would imagine it was with Bill. I didn't see too much of an effort to go like take any strats there. And Sam's going to start to run away here, and this is going to be key with USS in good spots here.
Yeah, looks like Macy's gonna let back in fast, but losing way more time.
Maybe in blue? Maybe blue? Maybe?
I
No,
think she just
No.
lost more time than she meant to.
Yeah.
They're looking good.
That fib puts off Revan, though, so I guess it's a slight blessing in disguise there. And Revise here. Surely, if you're... Yeah, I was going to say, surely if you're Macy here, back one of those greens and call it out.
Yeah.
But there's not really much of a spot you can back greens here, considering these turns are going to be okay. That's still fine.
Oh, back kick at a Sherman first. That's why Macy hit the wall. Very smart strategy.
Yeah, target power kind of worked. It looks like did they TS anybody?
Well,
yeah, I think they TS third. Brody and Revan dodging up. Oh
my goodness.
That was so tough. He was barely in his wheelie.
Switch over here. Switch over here to Macy. Big screen. 2-3 coming in for for South here. Back kick is in sniping position. He is in sniping position if he gets something off.
And maybe...
Oof. Not quite.
Oh, wow. Huh. That even scared me. I'm not even playing.
2, 3, 5, I think, in the end for South. So pretty even. Honestly, that bump on Revan kind of saved them there.
Henry, I would like to point out real quick. Smart for Macy to try to slow, but that bump under the wall was crucial. I mean, lost a lot of time.
My goodness.
The
I mean, I
idea
definitely
was-
think that,
Was right.
the idea was there, but
Yeah.
could have warranted a little bit better execution. However, it does look like we're still going to get a winning race out of that, yeah.
Potentially, maybe could have. I mean, you can't really speculate too much. It could have mattered if Macy was in sniping range from Brody as well, but I mean, still 2-3. Thankfully, it didn't matter all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was looking like US South was going to close the gap there if they were able to keep that top 3, but Shock kind of denied any chance of that happening. So they just they're going to have to keep waiting for their chance to get back into it. And in the meantime, just do damage control in those races where they don't pull it. South still picking BC3. I think we've seen Macy fail cut twice, once in each match, but she made it last match when it mattered the most. So they're still confident in it. North with the classic CM.
No. Right here.
Very good.
We'll see what happens here. Remember last war, 2 of US South failed and they made a dramatic comeback. With Backkick in first, I would imagine would maybe go for Ultra here, leave it open for Macy, I would imagine.
Yeah, Backhake, one of the best Ultra Tankers on the planet. Plan might not work out though, as Macy gets hit out. We'll see. Backhake's going for it. I think he gets to take it uncontested. Yeah, he does make it.
Backkick's on block.
Now on
Macy's
this
able to
side.
take it too.
Yeah, Mason Revise making it also 1 through 4. South looking good so far.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned once, Torp, that you and Backkick went for a Ultra challenge, and Backkick made it how many times in a row?
I'm pretty sure it was 84. I said that on the last cast too, because I just can't help bringing it up every time, because that's just such a ridiculous number. But yeah, he just doesn't miss. Like, he literally does not miss.
Ooh. Max off with Bill. This is crucial here for South.
Yeah, I don't think Backkick has enough space to take it again. He should maybe opt to block regular cut.
He's going for it one more time, and Revan's going to take it with a shroom in 1. Will they both make it? It looks like they do, yeah.
Oh.
But he's slamming on the brakes. You know what that means. Check the
Oh.
skies.
Is there nothing?
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a little bit
I was
confused
gonna
too.
say.
Oh, but
he's
huge from
sneaked a lot.
Revise. Huge from Revise. Almost a combo also, but Revan loses so much time there. And misses a chance to maybe combo Backkick after the blue.
There's
Oh,
another
Macy
one.
fails the pow dodge. It looks like that's a...
Oh no.
Ouch.
Blue is not gonna matter too much for now, depending on. I would imagine they're gonna try to double block if they can.
Still tough too. Either that or a block and an ultra
that's
take.
huge.
We'll see.
Perfectly timed green there from Revise.
Yeah, and Edison's getting hit too. There's the shock. Somebody dodged up. Probably
Switch over to
on
Macy.
George.
Switch over to Macy. Sean's gonna go for Shroomless potentially.
Oh wait, Macy was trying to block cut there. I don't know if she got it off or not.
Edison's going for it.
Oh, there's a Nana there.
That
That's
is not
so scary.
blocked.
Edison made it. Brody makes it.
But Revan misses. Yeah, I mean, it's blocked for the Shroomless alignment, and Revan does hit the Nana there. It's gonna be top 2 for N, though.
Yeah, top 2-5. Revise gets hit. Macy almost hit that fib too. North is getting a big race out of this in the end.
Top
Oh,
2,
Sean is
4.
cooking. Doesn't
Yeah.
actually hit in the end, though. I was gonna say that was very interesting for Sean to slow that much, considering maybe could have gotten like redded out of Mega or something. But yeah,
Yeah, Shock turned that around. It was almost a really, really nice heads-up play from Macy to go for the ramp box and then go for the immediate cut block, but I think either they took out cut in the star, or maybe she just missed the block. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but...
it looked like she backed early on the very leftmost part of that ramp. So, what is it? Shroomless.
Yeah, that one definitely
blocked.
missed.
But
Yeah.
Shroom Cut was not, for sure.
Yeah, she had triple nanas, so I'm wondering if there was another one that she dropped and then whoever dodged in a star took it out. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that could have been it, too. Like, we unfortunately couldn't quite get a good grip of that, but it looked to me like it was a double block attempt, and Sean did go right through it, so...
Yeah, another tough race for South. You know, again, they had a lot of top spots those last 2 races in a row, and then good shocks from US North to flip it around and build their lead.
Yeah, top 2 here. I was gonna say Brody's in first. Do you have any intel on what Brody likes to run here?
Probably something like DKSC. I mean, they've already played RWS. That gets rid of one of the tracks that's good in his arsenal.
TF's good here for top
Yeah,
4.
TF2.
TF's kind of the no-brainer, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tried and true.
You said DKSC. I
did, yeah.
Okay. DK Summit Circuit.
DK Snowboard Cross.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, DKS, DKSC. Gotcha.
People in chat saying US North has a -20. If this is true,
We're not going to speculate on this right now.
we'll
but
figure
we'll
that out
see.
later. But it's it's
It's in the
interesting.
background. Keep in your pocket.
Oh, Sam commits early. Here we
Brody
go.
gets blown up at a first. Oh, a downtown bomb. Edison taking the boxes, making sure that 2-3 doesn't get anything to work with here.
And
Yeah, he just at a
Macy-
drafting range.
Yeah,
Knows
Good.
Edison has no box.
yeah. I was going to say good anticipation or good awareness there from Macy to try to stay in that drafting line. This is going to be a really interesting exchange there. If Edison pulls a fib, does he show his hand? He does.
Snipe misses. Edison's lagging around.
Oh,
And through all the shenanigans, gives up some time. Revise is going to be kind of gone. Edison now with the TC.
He gets the
pass,
TC to
though.
Macy.
a blessing in disguise for him to hit the penguin, but no.
Macy gets it
Like
back.
that
That's
to a
actually
Macy.
massive. Hitting the penguin is really unfortunate, but it should secure... Oh, I spoke too soon.
Tons of chaos in the cave right now. My goodness.
Revise is going to get blued. Revan can get into first pretty much whenever he wants with this Mega, I think. A second blue pulled. This one's going to be held, though. That's pretty bad if you're US South. Revan's going to be able to get in
And
first.
here's the question.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is right there. Boom.
Sam
And he gets a
Shannon.
shroom in one.
Oh, and the drop star. Oh, they can't get it.
Oh,
He just
He
shrooms
misses
away.
the piece of candy on the ground.
Yeah, I guess someone on South might pick it up, but it dropped in a really bad spot. It's like right next to the crack. You kind of have to commit if you're going to go for it. I think North might be top 3, though.
that bomb didn't get any of North. I thought it would. It slowed one of them down.
Oh, no,
Shadow's in
up
second.
here. Shadow's up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
but
can hit
he's
Shadow
gone.
out.
He's gone. Macy just has to hope to hold top 3. There's a Mega for Sean.
Oh.
This is looking grim. The shock red
Another
from
shock,
Brody
a shock
gained
red.
one more spot. A near top 4.
Wow.
Devastating stuff for South. Yikes. Man, the US North shocks have been brutal. The mag difference is hidden right now, I gotta say.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, this is just such an amazing sub-in decision by US North to get Mac in here. I mean, obviously, Evan, a very good bagger in his own right, but, you know, you just start to get unlucky and things don't start to go your way, and, well, there you have it right there. Now US North is up by a lot thanks to Mac coming in and getting all these shocks.
Yeah, that's
so
3
far, I mean,
races in a row.
There were a couple of shockless races, right? From what I remember, but yeah, Mac is definitely starting to turn the tides here with these crucial shocks. I think it's so far it's 3-1 for Mac, or 3-0. I don't think Sam got one yet.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like we just applied the -20 penalty on North, so maybe all this Mac magic has come at a cost. He must have hit someone along the way, but
Yeah.
still, North has amassed a pretty decent lead.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've got to say, as someone who's bagged for a very long time, you know, just bumping people off there, I mean, it's rough, but it's not really Mac's fault either, since there's not a lot of room right there to really not bump the runners and really just sort of stay in your own lane. So it's very, very unfortunate for US North, but hey, I mean, Mac has still been making the difference here.
Yeah, I mean, a little unlucky for Sam too. I think Sam has definitely kept it close in terms of the contention of the shock, but there were a couple times where Mac was able to edge out and get the shocks whenever he's in the winning positions. But we'll see. I mean, this is a sitting track pretty much if you're both baggers. So
Yeah, it's the way of the road.
and this is a huge pull for Macy though. This is
Yeah.
monumental. I mean, triple shrooms maybe would be slightly better, but gain a big lead here early on if you're Macy. We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of potential.
Revan and
Yeah.
Edison expect
For
them to try to
Edison.
put him off with the back spam. A couple back spams here. No, Edison a shroom.
Everybody has shrooms. Macy's gonna
Everybody's
make it,
taking the cut right now.
Ooh, Sam, I am. Ooh, that was a scary spot to be in a star.
A lot of alliteration right there.
But it looks to me like interesting bagging battle here. One of them has already made it.
Looks like nobody up there has a shroom yet, unless Edison has pulled one in second, and maybe that's why they used the pat right there.
A bomb for Revan right
Oh.
now. Oh my goodness, what's he about to do?
Macy gets redded out. Revise gets sniped going for the cut with the mega.
And
but
he's
then
off
Revan
with
gets hit
blue.
off.
He's off with blue. That's so huge right there.
Oh, this is actually a good attempt. Wow,
Oh, that
that
looks
was a
very
good
close.
attempt.
Yeah.
Sean's up there too. Edison is going for some stuff, and he hits that Nana. Really laggy on Macy's screen, kind of unfortunate, but she does get the shroom, which could be her ticket to winning this race.
And if you're USA North here, most likely with shock, because Mac was winning out the whole time, and we saw Sam taking the strat in ninth, but we'll see. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, if Revan uses a star, that could be it. No, they didn't have it to TS. Macy's gonna dodge and cut. Gonna be probably a winning race for South. Easy
Whose
first.
shock was that, though?
Sorry,
Definitely a
Phil.
South shock. Top 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
Definitely what Sam needed. Definitely
yeah.
what he needed. Yeah, I mean he was losing out in the bagging battle, but considering he got a little bit unlucky when he was in 10th with Bill pulls, I think the gods have certainly, gave him that one back for sure.
Yeah, South was in a drought for shocks for a while. They were kind of getting beat up because of it, but after the -20 in that big race, they're gonna be pretty much right back in this match.
100%. Yeah, the reason why I asked who shock was that is because every once in a while you maybe don't predict that someone has shroom in second, but yeah, 100% S or South shock there, yeah. And top 3, BC Wee's already off the table, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, gold mine is a possibility. I don't see what spot they got in the bottom.
I think it was top 4. I think that was a perfect race.
Was
for
it?
South.
Wow.
13 points.
I caught the very end of that. I was like, oh, top 3. Wait, top 4? That is huge. I mean, what an answer if you're US South.
Yeah, major shock pull as well. That's a track where, the difference between being able to take cut in second and win the race, or getting TS'd and losing all your spots.
Yeah, and I mean that track and BC3, BCWE, a lot of these tracks that have TS spots or spots where people can take large cuts and stuff like that, really crucial to get the shock right there. And just Sam, an amazing job just staying disciplined with his item boxes that he took, getting the shock, and I mean just using an absolutely phenomenal one to get his team top 4.
Yeah, and now the chance for Toad's Factory is there. Top 4 is an amazing starting spot, but they don't get it. They kind of needed that, to be honest. That was their chance to, have a little snowball moment. Maybe bring it back or even take the lead, but it's going to be Delfino. We have 5 races left here in the semifinals.
This is gonna be some dicey stuff here. I mean, Mario Kart Wii World Cup semifinal with the scores this tight. Who comes out on top? It's gonna be
Last match as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
tiebreaker. We've been trying to
And
make
this
something happen.
this is key for Shadow. If he pulls an item here, you'd think he's gonna back it immediately. But does he go tight? Does he go wide? Revan doesn't take any chances. I don't blame him. He's so close to Shadow.
Holding up here, we're definitely going to assume that she's going to be behind a lot of these South members. We do see Sean starring somebody, it looks like. Oh, wow.
Oh, she bumps him too. She bumps one of them.
I think it's top 3 for South. Not insanely important on this track. I mean, Revan's going to be up there after double almost certainly. But they can expand on the lead a little bit with some back spams here in the town section.
Yeah, we might be seeing some double backs coming out here. Oh, okay. Why not? Why not, Revan?
Yeah, I think it's top 4 even, unless I missed a North member catching up. But
Yeah, wow.
yeah, Revan's just going to break that no problem right now.
Yeah, excuse me. No biggie. Taking the cut right here.
Gets all the way into first.
Tagging battle definitely, it's favoring Sam here. I mean, shocks are very tricky in this track because if you're in top spots but aren't too far gone, and you risk taking the other team taking cut, or you shock early to try to TS them, one of them spams star, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens right here. And I would imagine that Sam has it. He's sitting at the set. Maybe still chaining.
Could be big for South. Revan's close enough that if he has a shroom... Oh! He hits Revise, though. I don't know if this red's gonna reach. He has to hit the wall to break it, though. Macy's gonna take over first. Back Nana, I think,
was so close.
barely misses.
I can confirm Mac doesn't... I saw him spinning out and then shrooming. If he has shock, he just pulled it now, but... There it is, yeah, there it is from Sam.
He dodges last second, and there's a blue.
Blue's coming out too.
Edison gets hit. Becky definitely wins this for free.
Yep, Grows first before Edison. That looks like 1-3 for US South. It'll depend on the... Yeah.
Yeah, even race.
Or yeah, 1
Still
for 5. Yeah,
bottom.
on mid. My fault.
You're good, you're good.
Bottom 2 for South? Did I see that right? Pretty sure I saw Shadow and Revise there at the end.
I mean, this is as much of a nail biter, maybe not as much, but it's as close as you can get to, you know, a really hotly contested match 3 as you can. First 2 matches are blowouts, but I mean, considering that S were even in contention for match 3, considering that match 1 blowout, it's definitely a testament to their mental fortitude. And they're probably going to be down, I want to say, like 16 to 18 going into this last GP.
Yeah, it's so strange. Match 1 felt like so long ago. I mean, so much has happened since then. We've seen the ups and downs on both sides. And there's still everything to play for.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have definitely got a lot of fight. You got to remember that this is the back end of a best of 3. These guys have been sitting in their chairs playing Mario Kart for about 2.5 hours at this point. So there's definitely a little bit of exhaustion, especially playing up this late for a lot of people in the room. I mean, this is some really, really down to the wire stuff we're seeing here.
Okay, the scores were updated right away. My bad. Yeah, it's 13. I thought like the scores weren't updated yet, but yeah, 13-point deficit here for US South to overcome. And I gotta say, Brody has been showing out. I mentioned before this match that he's a top 15 player for sure, and he's on 89 or 86.
And I was saying as well, I mean, when he scores well, the whole team's scoring well. He's kind of the answer to this US North squad, and it's going to be up to South in these final 4 races to stop him.
Yeah, both these teams gunning for that shot to take on England in the grand finals and claim a Mario Kart World Cup trophy. We don't actually have trophies.
I wish
It's
we
online.
did. Jeez.
That would be sick if we could mail people trophies.
Yeah, championship rings as well.
This is going to be crucial. Top 2 so far early on for US South. Backache in second. That's definitely who you want behind Macy to support him.
Yeah, and enough space for Macy to take double without having to worry about getting bumped by anyone passing by, which makes a big difference on this track.
Hard to tell who made double because Revan was in a bottom spot after TC. Both baggers failing at first. Very hotly contested.
Yeah, still top 2, I'm pretty sure, for US South. I think I just saw Backcake's name real quick, and with Macy throwing away the Nana, that has to indicate that she has a teammate behind her. So that could
maybe
be...
if you're Macy here, maybe try to block it and Backache goes wide? Or would you hold this? No, he holds this. Yeah, Backache's going to take the long side.
Respect that. Not worth the risk, I think, at this stage.
Oh, that's just the physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she's taking a deep dive and going down all the way to 3rd.
Although somehow...
Yeah. Still top 3,
Not
though.
too much damage done if we're looking at just the spots. It's still top 3 for
If
South.
they hold this, yeah. If they hold this, it's not too much damage.
And she
but,
doesn't
I mean,
slow down into the cannon, so they're not worried about North having it.
Macy has end breathing down her neck, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, would like to keep at maybe one more green for the double section.
Yeah,
just make sure nobody can
100%.
sneak up and pass
TC in
you.
4th for North right here.
Yeah, you can kind of just take single and run away.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
all
what happened to back kick,
single.
though? Is there blue?
I think they're fine. Don't hit the shy guy.
And that's a top 3 for US
Top 3.
South.
Wow. That
look
POW
what
must
they-
have put in work. I gotta say, lap 2, we saw Macy die, but like that POW must have put in work. I think it got Revan off, and US South was in good enough spots that they just profited huge off of it. And this is gonna be really close.
Oh man. I mean, that's a good run. I mean, definitely a lot of pressure for Macy there. I was gonna say pressure on Backache too, but Backache's a machine, really. Macy, making double. The only mistake which could have actually been crucial was that POW into the invisible wall, or really visible, kind of, I guess you could say. But yeah.
Yeah, they played it so well that it didn't end up costing them any points in the end. So US South sneaks ahead by 5 points.
5 points going into race 10 here. This is it. I mean, if there's any races to pay attention to during this World Cup tournament, it's these final 3 here to determine who goes on to the finals.
Yeah, we've been saying throughout the whole set that we really want a close match, and we're finally getting one now in the tiebreaker. Couldn't be better than this. If you got this stream on in the background, feast your eyes, stop whatever you're doing. It's about to go down. Next 10 minutes.
This is
Yeah,
76ers Raptors Game 7 type stuff right here.
Of course. Oh man, why you gotta mention that, man? I'm wearing my Iverson jersey right now.
I think
that brings back bad memories.
Just to make it a little bit comedic, I'm pretty sure that like the highest supported city in the community is probably Philadelphia. There's so many people in the community that love Philly teams. But anyway, Koopa Cake
Love all
coming
my
out.
Eagles fans, yeah.
Go Birds. Anyway,
Here we go.
Dude, imagine how nervous these players are right now. We're having a gaff right here in the booth, just watching
Yeah,
them play
talk
live.
about Philly sports and stuff like
Especially
that.
Macy. She has definitely been hit or miss, but when she's hit, she has hit, but TC unfortunately for her. Oh!
Great pass.
Oh, wow.
They're both gonna die, but
Put that off. I didn't think she would get it off. She did.
yeah, it was really good awareness of like Sean's lag and just the line that he'll probably take in that spot, and she kind of just had to take an educated guess, and she ends up nailing it. So
Yeah. And can confirm Revan is on stream delay, so we're gonna be focusing on Macy just this race. Yeah, we'll see. From the looks of things, North are occupying 2-3 behind Batcake. I don't think I saw any of them spin out. Two, 3, 4 for N.
yeah, blue could be trouble. South is in 5-6, so they don't have to worry about North pulling one too much, I think, at this point.
Good idea from Macy. Oh, she gets it off at the end of the star? Yeah, right at the end of the star.
Yeah, Backcake's back here though. Wasn't he first before?
He
Isn't
was, yeah, he was. I believe him.
Something went awry. Golden is really big here for Macy though.
Yeah, Macy has a lot of options to use this golden. Ends up using it right here. This is going to take her all the way to the last set, where she's going to be able to get a clutch box in 4th place, and this might determine the.
Oh, there were
rest of
2
this game.
stars.
Stars
Oh,
and
no!
shrooms dropped everywhere.
Backkick got one though. Backkick, I thought he missed.
Yeah, gonna be hard to catch up to the top 2 though. You can't really get great items in 3rd.
I mean, there's a top 2 here, and Revan I think took Shroomba with Backkick taking cut behind. Backkick had triple Shrooms, I think.
I think Macy kind of just has to play for 4th in this spot. Unless she can pull a Mega, might not be worth, risking a TC.
Yeah,
but she's
ooh,
gonna have-
revise.
Oh.
Flipping that box in.
Backkick gets into 2nd though.
Yeah, I think Backkick had
Oh, but
triple
Revise gets
Shrooms.
hit. He got hit on the
wow.
waterfall. That's a really bad that's spot to get hit there.
Star drop's gonna be so crucial here if it comes.
Somebody
Brody
got out
keeps
on
hurt.
landing. Ooh, Backkick might have been getting past at the end. I'm not sure. Somebody shroomed up. Otherwise,
think
it's
so.
mid spots. Mid spots for South. It was either a 1-3 or a top 2 for North. I'm not sure if Backkick was able to keep the spot because there was a POW at the end. Somebody took cut.
Yeah, apologies for like the lack of perspective on the top there. Unfortunately, Revan turned stream delay on there, but from the looks of it, I mean, it was Backkick in first at first, and then maybe Brody getting a ground star, and then just running the rest of it. There it is, top 2 for North.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
POW and the shroom combo works out. This is like dead even. 2 points.
last race, ladies and gentlemen. This is where legends are made.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you know, pause the TTs, leave the worldwide, tune into the stream right now,
left.
stop whatever you're doing. This is real close going to these final races.
2 left, 2 left. I jumped the gun. I jumped the shark. Oof. I keep forgetting that scores. I keep forgetting that BYosh is a stream hosting legend, man. He's up there. He scores right away.
Yeah. This guy's been
Dude,
doing it
imagine
for a
they
long
tie.
time.
Imagine we can go overtime. Nah,
Oh,
no way, no way.
OT in the semi. Oh man, I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do.
I mean, for top 2 though, what would you go here? I mean, CM hasn't been picked yet actually in this war.
I like it. Oh, they're doing the maple thing again. I just saw it on his POV, which is something they did earlier. I mean, it kind of makes sense, because a lot of, people used to think that that's like the 1-3 track, but third doesn't really jump in the cut anymore. Another kind of shift in the meta. Nowadays, people have one.
Top 2 run, and then 6, 7. The 6 can go in the cut to try to snag that like residual box, but it is going to be RBC, and this is. You have to swerve here 100% if you're starting off in top 2 to prevent those drafts coming up.
Yeah, the beginning is going to be so important.
We'll see how Revan approaches this. Maybe try draft first? Yeah, he tries for the first place. Draft gets bumped.
Macy got bumped on top of the
Huge
wall
rip.
for a second. Both of our POVs in the back.
For sure, I'd see Revan try to like really bump 3-4. I mean, trying to draft first in that scenario is really risky.
Macy's driving up here. It's going to be a 1-3 for South. They have to get Brody out of here. He's been the main reason why North has been in this right now with his 105 points. It's going to be up to Batcake.
Batcake fails! He hit the wall! He
No.
Revive's trying to make up for it somehow, but it's going to be North in top 2 after that. A massive blunder.
And I think it was that green that put Backache off. I mean, I saw that green being tossed, and I saw Backache trying to avoid clipping that wide wall. And it looks to me like in terms of the bagging battle. Oh no, the POV, double POV, I couldn't quite catch it.
Yeah, and it created a domino effect where he got the TC after him, and Macy got slowed down too, and North is running away with this. Really, really costly mistake at a stage like this.
We see one of the baggers. I think it's Mac.
He was sitting there for a long time. What could he have?
No, he doesn't have shock. He lost Bill, yeah, and it's still Sam running back. He can try to chain a couple Sam. We'll see if he has it. Yes, he does.
Wow. Okay.
Where does he?
Macy and the Mega. It comes early. They're gonna get themselves in the boxes right there.
Yeah, US South going for a potential 2-shock race. They used it right before Sam jumped off to go backwards, so he's going to be still 10th by a little bit. Macy not quite able to sneak into first with a shroom. Gonna have to burn it up here somewhere.
And I do really like that risk from South to do that, since, I mean, it's a super close match, but North were just running away with it. You needed to bet on yourself getting a second shock there, and with the way Sam's luck has been going, I would have put it past
matter though? I don't want to say that this is gonna prevent Macy from getting a good race, but I saw Macy clip the wall as she was going for Bannister, and it prevented Macy from really catching up to Revan, and Revan just has free reign to start backing after this POW.
2-3 for South. Not sure if they have more behind that. They just need to kind of survive here. Oh, Backache gets hit right when I say that. Luckily they don't bump each other off on the bridge.
She takes the cut. She gets another shroom. She's going to be neck and neck with Revan if she uses this soon.
That rhyme, that was crazy. Evan's doing fine for now. Still no signs of a second shock, yeah. Both the baggers sitting there in front of the strat. No late target power or anything.
And there's a
2-3. That's a super even race again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bannister was blocked there. Thanks for pointing that out, but even still, Macy clipping the wall a little bit, forcing herself. Well, maybe not. She did use the shroom to try to chain into a box at the end of lap 2 there, or beginning of lap 3. But yeah, easy run for US North there in first.
Yeah, every decision, every mistake seems to have so much weight at this point. Back kick hitting the wall on the bridge. You know, they were in a spot they could have sandwiched Brody out of there and maybe ran with it themselves. Instead, they had to use an early shock. And now we're in the
One game, one race left.
maybe the most important race of these players' careers.
And that's saying something too. Some of these players have been around for a long time. Macy has been around since, from what I know, 2014, 2015.
Yeah, about 2015, 2016. Rest with the same for these players in this room.
This is huge. There's no other way to put it.
So many veterans in this room today, and yet this is the most important race of their entire lives.
This final track right here determines who goes on to play England in the finals. And whatever it is, it's going to be one hell of a ride here, folks.
They're going for the Mushroom Gorge Gambit. I cannot believe it. They're betting it all on black. Meanwhile, Maple Treeway from North, putting their trust in Revan one last time to hold first on a track we're running is so important. Are they going to get it?
It is the Gorge.
It's going to be
Revan,
Mushroom
folks.
Gorge. Hold on to your hat. Oh my god. I mean, 1 point is pretty much nothing. It really just comes down to whoever wins this race.
And I don't really have a strategy to lay out here. It's, they're both they're mixed spots. Whoever pulls shrooms here. Sean with a key draft early though.
The bump off early.
Bumps, yeah,
oh
bumps.
man, he gets bumped.
And then Sean gets red. He didn't get a box there. Macy in first. Not super important. There's a chance that it holds though. We'll see who takes gap. A couple people getting hit on the turn, including
Does Sam go early
Revive.
here though? There's a bit of a lead. Yeah, Sam, I don't blame him for going early there. I mean, the only way you catch up here for your Mac is if it's golden, which looks like it's shrooms. Sam gets the box first.
Macy backed someone out of the cut. I'm not sure who that was. Whoever it was, I think recovered with more shrooms, but there's a chance that could just hold. She's kind of far ahead at this point.
I mean, North is in dire need of a blue at this point, especially with, Sam.
Yeah, if they keep first and they pull shock, it's hard to imagine they don't win this race.
Switch over to Macy here. Switch over to Macy.
Yeah, Revan's going to be down for the count for a while. Baggers are neck and neck.
Sam's winning by just a tad.
Macy could get redded. Maybe.
Sam has it. No,
Edison
Sam's
up here. Edison up here. This is so big. She gets the trail. Macy gets the trail on Edison. That is so huge.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. So much happening here.
I thought to go around the mushroom so she doesn't get TS.
Oh, dude, imagine how shaky these players' hands have to be. I think Macy's just going to hold it. I don't know if she can lose first at this point.
US North. I mean, do you TS first here for US North?
I don't think anyone has. Max going forwards. He has to try to spam it in 9th or something? I don't even know.
No, I think he has to have. Yeah, a 2-3 coming out for USA North. They don't want to TS them.
Macy gets first. Revan's taking cut. Beckett gets third. I think US South wins it.
US South has clutched
I think they won by like
wow, yeah,
by like 6 points or something.
I don't know about y'all, but I think that fib onto Edison was the dagger right there.
I think that was it. I think that was the series winning play after 36 brutal races of high level, high octane gameplay.
Yeah.
Macy clutches up with the first place on Gorge.
And another clutch play by Macy. We saw in the US South versus Australia match, she had that very infamous hit onto Barry. Oh my goodness. She has ice in her veins.
And after all that, US South squeaks it out in match 3. That could not have been any closer.
And you have to give yourself a pat on the back if you're Macy too. I mean, that match 1 was probably the most chaotic, not chaotic, but like that overall for US South, it was not looking good. It was completely grim for them, especially for Macy. I mean, we don't want to like single anybody out, but Macy definitely had a war to forget. But match 2 and 3 came up with a couple of pretty key plays, and Backkick, of course, the absolute animal that he is, with 112 and Macy 111 alongside it. That is a key, crucial win for US South.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
were questioning them, not using their main lineup, and after that first match, it looked really down the drain. But they brought it back and turned it around, and what a story for this team.
yeah, and I mean that
2 points.
dynamic duo of Macy and Batcake up in the front there. Just some amazing points during GP3 as well. Just insanely clutch. They both got 45 right there. I mean, oh my goodness. You couldn't have asked for a better ending for South.
They've made comebacks time and time again. We saw against France, they had one. Against Australia, they had one. And finally, their most important comeback to date against US North, winning by 2 points and advancing to grand finals against England.
That's just it.
Oh boy.
You can't get them out.
That is ridiculous.
Can't count them out. I mean, that penalty. I mean, I actually didn't catch a glimpse of it because I was looking at replays for another purpose. But that.
Yeah. I don't even know where it was. I'm not even sure which race it was. It was one of the ones that North won.
It was BC3, and it was Mac bump off on the ramps, on the yellow ramps. That's
Wow.
just so unfortunate. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And
And you know what? A big shout out to US North as well. I mean, all of those guys tried their absolute hardest. Brody with 120 points of his own. Unfortunately, it's just barely not enough. Revan also having a huge match with his 104. But that South team, man, that back fib onto Edison really changed the whole dynamic of that final race. And that was what they needed in order to edge out this small victory.
Yeah, I mean the closest win possible, just 2 points. Cannot wait to see what some of them have to say. We're gonna try to set up an interview. Don't go anywhere if you guys want to hear what the victors have to say. And speaking of,
There they
we got
are.
some
Brigade.
newcomers.
Yo.
People of the hour.
Hello, hello.
You guys sound like you didn't just play one of the craziest series I've ever seen.
Dude, yeah, well, we were screaming in the other call, but like,
Yeah.
now
that
there's
was
like
thousands
500
in.
people watching, so we gotta relax.
Yeah.
Who's saying you gotta relax, man? Y'all going to the finals. What's going on?
I got DM to keep it clean, so I have to keep it clean now.
Womp womp. Boo. Here come the higher ups.
I just want to start this off with maybe not the obvious question, but the question that I'm sure most people at least have on the back of their minds. What was the mentality like during match one, considering that you guys played it out? Was it just get more practice? Was it cool, calm, collected? Was there a little bit of frustration there? Tell me about it.
I mean, I suggested we forfeit 'cause I was like tilted out of my mind, but Revise and Backcake said to play it out and like get momentum, and then we won the last 3 races in a row. So like, I think it worked out.
I think
Yeah.
you could respect that from Backkick too.
Yeah, it was mostly like Revise and Backcake, so I appreciate them for that. 'Cause I was actually they kept the call pretty calm, but I wasn't like raging, but I was like tilted out of my mind. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
Especially
the
with
first
me
races
choking.
were pretty frustrating, but like halfway through the match, I was telling them, look, Japan beat England by like 100 match one, and then they lost the next 2 by 200. So, just focus, stay calm, go race by race, and
Yeah, some very good points there. I guess my question for Macy would be, obviously you had that big moment versus Australia a couple of rounds ago, now getting the amazingly clutch back fib onto Edison. I mean, what was it like in call when you just saw him fall far away from you and you broke away in first?
Are we talking about? Wait, I'm sorry. Are we talking about MG?
MG,
Yeah.
yeah. Final
Yeah.
race.
So after I hit Edison, I just said I hit him. I didn't want to like clog the call 'cause it's obviously very important. Everyone else like finishes, right? Like we needed like 1-3 or something to win. So I was just like dead silent, like waiting for praying Backcake did not fail gap. I was extremely nervous, but like as soon as we got 1-3-6, like we all just freaked out because like we already knew we had won at that point.
Were any of you
It was
recording
so
the call?
I wasn't honest, like 'cause I was streaming. Someone, I'm sure someone. I mean, I think Backkick was with like.
Backy probably was, yeah.
Yeah.
We got to see that on Twitter at some point. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was pretty insane.
I'm sure Backkick will
Release the
upload the full
tapes.
VOD.
Release the tapes. I'd love to see that.
The inner huddle.
But yeah, that was like, I said it going into like race 6. This is like the most like nervous I've been for anything ever, like for like Mario Kart related, which sounds really like cringe, but
Nah, it was same for me easily.
I mean, it's pretty justified. You guys are going on to the World Cup Finals. That is not something, that is no small feat right here.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. Oh my god.
And I mean, this is the first time a lot of you guys are going to such a big event. I mean, obviously we saw Lightspeed for you in the GSC finals a couple of seasons ago, but this is a whole different ball game. I mean, we're definitely going to see a lot more viewers and a lot more people tuning into that. So what's sort of your attitude going into that? And I mean, how are you going to sleep these next few nights?
I'll probably sleep the exact same, but like, you know, I'll be happy tonight. All I know is like, I don't know, I get nervous pretty easy, but like, I think Revives on our team has played in like the most like D1 finals or playoff matches in general, so like, it's good experience. And then for the final, we should have Casper, so we'll have like our full main lineup. I think we'll be a lot calmer going into it. I don't know if Revives has any different thoughts.
I mean, yeah, probably. I assume we'll talk it over, but I assume that'll be like the lineup.
Yeah, but like huge shout out to Backcake, Shadow, and especially
Shadow,
Sam.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Shadow, especially match 3. He was doing a really good job, like hitting them, and just gave us a break on a lot of tracks. So shout out to Shadow.
Yeah,
and everybody.
That's something that, like, you know, every once in a while when you look at table, you know, the points don't matter all the time. And there were tracks like DKS, you guys were broken. Was that a track where obviously it's not really too much of a slagging track, but was that a track where Shadow had an effect? DKS?
I know Shadow passed them a crucial TC, which like made it so the dude behind me had to do single, and then the guy who got TC'd obviously couldn't do double either. Yeah. So I broke away, and then Backkick did double, and we were just top 2 off it. It's like small things like that just add up, especially in the war we won by like 2 points. Like,
yeah, I think he also like was slagging them with the star lap 3 on Summit. That gave us like a decent break.
Yeah, Shadow with a lot of nitty-gritty plays during that match and the previous 2 matches as well. I mean, very Edison-esque type of player. We definitely see that he clutches out for you guys in a lot of situations.
Oh yeah, I think anyone on our team is just good at the game. I mean, these are like World Cup teams, obviously. So all the teams at this stage, like everyone on the roster is good. You know what I mean? So like, there's no one that we like see and like we're just like, oh, I don't know if we can do it with them. And like Shadow, like despite like we said, despite doing bad, was just great the entire time.
Yeah, I remember talking with some of you guys in US South about, you know, who you want to see step up and play with you guys, and I know there were a lot of good reviews for Shadow on his chem with the team and, you know, the role that he plays. So I'm glad to see him step up as a sub. Did you have concerns though going into it though before the lineup?
I mean, I think the only thing is like not having Casper there is weird because he's in like every scrim with us and he's been in every match but one. He didn't play the Norway match because like we kind of knew that match was like, you know, it was just we were gonna win it, so we kind of just like played, you know, whoever was there. But yeah, I don't know. I want to say nervous, but it's definitely different when you're not playing with like one of the captains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Random Norway stray right there.
I didn't mean to play. You know what I mean?
I'm kidding.
Playing very intended.
Yeah. Any other?
Say, like, I was gonna say one more thing. It's not really particularly a question. I mean, Macy, I would like to highlight you once again. I mean, there were a lot of moments in matches 2 and 3 where you just found yourself in like second, contesting first, and there were a couple of good plays you made, like really solid. And then there were actually I want to bring it back to the Thwomp. I want to see if I can clear the air here.
I've never had that happen.
You saw the Thwomp coming, right? And you were trying to get out of the way?
I saw it, like, it was too late. I got blued and standstilled, and I was looking at the minimap to see how big our breakaway was, and I looked back at, like, my funky, and it's just under a shadow, and I got squished.
Everyone in chat was like Macy, like, WTF. I'm like, no, Macy, that was not her fault. Like, That was just
Well,
a really weird position that she was put in.
It's definitely my fault, but like it was a little weird, yeah. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
excuse for getting thwomped, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you were right under the thwomp line though. It was just a slightly late reaction for you to try to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But, like one of those situations where if you had held MT the whole way, like 80% chance you get thwomped anyway. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
anyway, like I was gonna ask you a question, but then I remembered that. So you were up there a lot, like in matches 2 and 3, contesting first. Is there any moment in particular that you want to highlight that you know, or any moments that you highlighted that you want to highlight that maybe changed the races around a little bit when you were in those exchanges?
I mean, well, the obvious one was MG, but I mean, I think this is one people will remember if they watched match 1. The worst one was by far Summit, where I just did not do the last turn at all, and they got top 4. I went from 1st to 5th. I was like, I don't know if Henry and Jaggy were here for that, but I was extremely upset over it.
I was definitely watching.
Yeah.
I had my eyes on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard to live through, but you know, we bounced back. Unironically, revising back kick kind of saved the mental, so.
Yeah, yeah. I guess my question for you, Macy, before I'm done for the night, is obviously Brody on US North. Very good performance by him. Unfortunately, wasn't enough to win it all. But I mean, you've played with him a lot these last few years, and in previous years as well. So, I mean, what's it kind of like playing against him in this matchup? And seeing his play style and trying to play around it, knowing it best on the US South team. I mean, what's that like for you?
I mean, it's really weird because, like, I mean, I don't know, he's just good. And, I mean, the thing that's weird is, like, North is literally, like, Superbia, except I think they'd have Revise playing instead of
honestly,
Brody.
it was really weird for me. Like, very weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Revise
on
is
the
basically
side.
playing against his own team. So, like, that was, like, the only thing that was, like, kind of strange, you know what I mean?
Where did that play a factor at all in any, maybe there were a couple tracks that they have like interesting strats on, or because we saw MT coming out from top 2, but are there anything that you'd like to, or is there anything you'd like to point out in regards to like any intel that you had on them that maybe made a difference in this match?
There were like a couple things. I don't know if I want to say it because I'm still on the team, so I won't say. But there were a couple things, yeah, that we talked about before the match.
Yeah, there were specific tracks that were brought up for sure, which I think helped in the long run. Like, we avoided certain tracks, so yeah, definitely helpful having Revise there.
The insider info.
I respect that, not trying to leak out information, because you guys are still a D1 team after all. I'm sure that, nobody gets
Gonna have the whole world knowing for sure.
I think that, you guys have any other questions?
No, I think I'm done. So thank you guys so much for being our interviewees tonight, and great job during this match and bouncing back for match 2, and good luck in the Mario Kart World Cup finals coming soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks guys for the interview as well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck, guys. Huge congrats.
Much love, much congratulations.
All right, and for everybody watching,
On
thanks for
behalf
tuning
of
in.
Mario Kart Central Wii, that was a fantastic match, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm Jaggy.
I'm Henry US.
This is Torp.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon.